And welcome back to episode 44 of the Unpaid and Underrated Podcast, a podcast by crew for crew. I'm your host, Big Keith, joined as always by my co-host, Big Joey.
Hey, I'm here again.
And our special guest this week, we've got Mr. Eric Carpenter, aka Coach Carp.
Hey boys, what's going on tonight?
Howdy, how are you guys doing? Well, we're a little late this evening. It's not
Ooh.
morning, it's this evening. I've been off today, so my whole reference of time, it's just like, very odd. Of like, wow, I don't think I've actually recorded on a day off before ever. This might be a first, so this is kind of cool. But with that being said, I'm still not drinking any beer because I don't want to ruin my tomorrow day off. So I'm knocking out some Poland Springs water with a little bit of Mio Orange in it tonight. That is what I'm drinking. So I didn't have anything carbonated left, so just some fashion water with a little Mio flavor.
Surprising you went orange there.
Yeah, big surprise.
Shocker.
Yeah. I was gonna go red, but I figured I'd save that for you.
All right. Well, if you want me to get crack into mine, I've got the classic Diet Coke, the original sparkling water, and it's a crispy crack on that one, and the Lift Hard, Live Easy.
Atta boy.
Koozie.
That's a molasses flavored sparkling water.
What are you drinking, Big Joey?
Oh, Morgan set this one up for me today. This is the Crew Premium Lager. I don't know if I can get that on.
There we go. I get so for the audio listeners, it is not CRU umlaut, but it is CREW, which is close enough.
We created
Getting
that.
her ass.
Yeah. This is a crisp and refreshing lager crafted to honor the camaraderie found among fellow travelers. Sure, it's a Canadian company. It's a basic lager. It does not taste fantastic, but it does not taste offensive.
It's your favorite color, so that works.
Blue?
It looks purple from here, but maybe it's the video.
And I also have the Lift Hard, Live Easy koozie. Drink insulator.
Same color as the Crew Royale, if I'm not mistaken.
It was actually, yeah.
Looks pretty.
Crew Royale with cheese.
Well, I'm wearing the as far as what we're wearing this week, I got the old Lift Hard, Live Easy shirt, and Carps looks like he's knocking out the Massonomics 7-year podcast shirt. But the important one I'm going to talk about is I'm pretty sure Joey's got a new fancy shirt on. What do you got there?
Oh yeah, the You and You podcast.
Yeah.
I don't think I posted Did I post the back yet on Instagram?
I think I saw it in a video, or I
sent it directly to you.
Yeah, so I saw it there.
So it's a red shirt. It's got white U with the umlauts, You and You podcast. I did do it in Comic Sans because fuck you designers. And then on the back, it says for crew, by crew, mocked on Discord by crew.
That's great. I do enjoy that. And it was just an Amazon special. So are we going to come out with merch? I don't see it happening because that's a lot of work. But feel free to reach out to Big Nate or one of us, and we can get you, some higher quality images if you wanted to try to upload anything, or just type out there's a million different websites you can just type out the text and make the shirt. I think Coach Carp, did you end up getting one made? I think you had asked about.
I don't yet, but I do have the stuff you sent me.
Yeah,
I was getting ready to say you guys had a new drop this week for the crew, but Joey made. Now I've seen the version 1 of Keys, and now Joey's got
I like Joey's.
different colors.
I like the red. When I went to go order mine, I don't think they had the way I imported mine, it would have been hard to make the shirt red with the picture I imported. So I kind of just had to go black and white, but the red pops.
And I do like this because it feels almost like the writing is dyed in. Like it's not vinyl covered. I think it's screen printed.
Yeah, so you don't have the itchy.
Yeah, it's not heavy when I sweat or anything like that. So I think this was worth about the $30 I paid for it. It's less than a Massonomic shirt.
Yeah, it looks like he got a better blank than Keith did.
Yeah, mine's a little floppy. Mine fits like a true 2X, and I'm probably more like a 1.5X.
Oh, this was a large, and I opened it and I put it on, and I was like, I don't think this is a large. That's twice I've done that now. I better not be. I'm not buying any extra larges. Sorry guys, I'm gonna be walking around like I'm in the baby gap. I'm not changing any more shirt sizes. I'll stop benching.
Who was that? Was that Grayson that said Hannah's parents bought him a medium shirt? And anyone that knows Grayson, he's he's a smaller guy, but not a medium. Like
Yeah,
he's small in stature, as in like he's like 5'4", but he's not a medium. He's at least not a Massonomics medium.
can tear right
But
through it.
yeah, for sure. Did you guys have a chance to watch any of the YouTube videos? I think they dropped the crew fall ones last Friday, so we missed that. And then Jonah's gym tour hit today. So there's two videos we have not talked about yet on this episode.
I did not watch the gym tour one, but I assume you two did since you guys love that kind of stuff. So I'll let you guys have at that one. But I did watch the crew falls one.
Yeah. The gym tour was cool. I mean, I lived it firsthand, so there wasn't anything I really caught me off guard. What about you, Carp? Did you see anything in the gym that you were like, "Ooh, that's neat"?
I liked his all the platforms right in the middle, and then he had that track area behind for like sandbag work, bag. You know what I'm saying? Either way,
Oh yeah.
depending on what part of the country you're from. But then he had that. He said the one that was a powerlifting bench nationals. He had that special carpet, and a lot of guys were reaching out to him trying to figure out where you can get that carpet because it's really grippy for the bench nationals. And so if the heaviest benchers in the world are using it and they like it, then it must be all right.
And that is a thing. Like you hear a lot of guys go to these high payout meets and they just like rush to build someone's new to doing meet, like being a meet director and just toss together a bunch of shit and think they have it all figured out. And they buy some like shitty carpet from Home Depot and the guys complain about it because their feet are literally slipping out on bench. Like you wouldn't think it's not a big deal, but it's a big enough of a deal that if you're there to perform at a high level and your feet can't fucking get planted on the ground, like you're just going to be a problem. So that was kind of cool that I enjoyed that caveat as well in the video. But I think the more fun video that we all watched was the Tommy and Tanner's Crew Falls recap of the last weekend at Crew Falls. So I lived it. I don't really need to talk about it. What do you guys think?
I thought it was just funny seeing Tanner carry whatever it was, 20 chicken bakes in a big box.
Yeah.
That you guys all got seating. I know you had to kind of wait, be strategic about the seating, but and then apparently some of the other guys got Sundays and things while they're waiting. So there's no telling how many calories got put down in about 20, 30 minutes in there.
Oh yeah.
I have so many hacks for Costco. Like you get an ice cream and you get a drink, and then you just like you don't do a sundae or anything. You just get an ice cream, and that's how you make like the cheapest float.
Oh yeah.
You just get a root beer and dump the ice cream into the float. But fantastic. And like I think I messaged in the Discord. It was funny because I'm like watching this video, which is I know is supposed to be a fun video, but I'm like whisper cheering you guys on during your lifts. Like when Jake was like grinding through that deadlift, I'm sitting there going, get it up, get it up. And then I was like, I don't even know the guy. And it's a video on my phone, but I'm like yelling like I'm in a meet, like, ah. So that was pretty funny but I mean, that's just the kind of relationship that the crew has and the crew has built. Tron, kind of new to the crew, but just seems like he fits right in. Just slid in like a hot dog into a bun.
Right into those DMs.
Yeah, he the showing up with the Crocs. When he said, honestly, it's probably the funniest thing I've heard in a long time. This chicken bake restaurant sells all these knickknacks.
Yeah,
I laughed so hard. Like, like I'm very familiar with Costco. I thought that was freaking hilarious. So it was a good video and it was really fun to watch. Sad to see it end, but Keith one eye in it. I go home in hours.
Big Keith here. Tomorrow. Man, they didn't want to let me go. That was really funny. Like I didn't realize because I hadn't seen that image of myself until that video, and I was like, oh, I look as tired as I remember feeling. Yeah. like I visibly that's how I look when we usually roll into hour 2.5 on this podcast is kind of the exact face I looked. So
I'm not drunk. I'm just tired from drinking all night.
Yeah, there you go.
But trust me, I know because that's how they got me to Top Shelf. Like I was doing the rounds with Jen saying like, bye everybody. And then Bryce was like, nope. Like you could just feel him come in like Jaws. He's like, no, we're going Top Shelf. So like, I know the feeling when you're trying to go and they're just like, nah, you're not leaving anywhere. So believe me, I know that.
Well, that wasn't the only, those two videos might be in the top 3 of crew content that has come out in the last few days. So, Eric, did you get a chance to watch the We Are Crew IG video that we posted yesterday?
I did, yeah, with the all the guys and
Oh
the
yeah.
couple of seconds and the quick cuts. Yeah, Scans and some of the guys on there. Yes, I saw that one. I thought it was pretty cool, man.
Nice. Yeah. We I mean, if you're not on Instagram a lot, that has been a pretty virally trend the last few weeks. We might have been about a week late getting it out, but I think it's still relevant. I think it's still funny. I think everyone got it. Uh I think we all, I mean, it was pretty cool to like 6 or 7 of us that took the time out of our, busy lives to go record. Some of us put, I did like 3 or 4 different videos in my basement. So I have a total of like 5 minute investment, but some of the guys, was it freaking Big Matt and Big Murph actually like, went out of their way to meet up. So that was really cool. So just like the fact that like all of us were like, yeah, I want to be part of this. I'm going to invest however much time and effort into doing it. And then, Nate, whenever he had when Nate actually had a free minute, was able to clip it all together for us. And we got it out there, and they actually ended up talking about it a fair amount on last night's live recording during the supporting our members. So that'll be cool to hear next week. But I thought that was fun to be part of.
Yeah, I know it's your guys' content, but to me, it kind of harkened back to the band tee, the Yeah Buddy Lightweight tee, where everybody joined in and did the old what was it, the insurance commercial spoof about it's my Buddy Light tee
Oh
and I want it
yeah,
now.
yeah,
That's
yeah. I
forgot
remember.
about that one. Yeah. Performing well, 1,600 views.
Nice.
Yep, 19 shares, only 76 likes. But I mean, considering our following counts,
Yeah, we don't get more than, if we get 50 likes, that's a lot for our IG,
yeah.
honestly. So I'll take it.
So it's performing well, and of course it should. They reposted it. I'd like to see their. I haven't actually looked because I don't think they tagged any of us in their
Oh, they
post.
they actually posted it on their IG,
Yeah, I don't know if
or
you
just
saw the
us?
message, but Tanner
I
messaged me
missed
about the
it.
collaborator thing, and
I will talk. We can talk about that off air.
yeah, we'll talk about that off air,
Yeah,
off camera.
do it live. But no, that's cool. I'll have to check that out. But yeah, that was fun. I was glad to be part of it. Hope everyone enjoyed it. And we'll try to, I think it's cool that we have our platform now where it's like more communal, like the Crewcast, unpaid and underrated. Like it's not just like one dude posting the video and kind of getting all the clout for it and then trying to tag
Mhm.
everyone. It's like our Instagram is like it is the crew's Instagram, so that's
Yeah,
how I kind of look at it. It's more of a communal place to put that rather than like an individual. So I think that was cool. I think everyone enjoyed being a part of it, and you know,
that's a
hopefully we
good
can do something.
that's a good way to word it because I think that I have every intention of doing more stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know that hurting kittens, which is another
Oh
video I think I'm
God.
gonna make.
Oh yeah. We can
Oh
talk about that.
yeah,
That's a good story right
let's
there.
not talk about that because I'm going to make a video of that. I'm gonna see
All
if
right.
Nate can help me out with that. But it's essentially just going to be in the chat. I had said I'm not typing all this, so I put out a video that just said, "Hi guys, this is what we want to do. We want to do it by this date. Let me know if you can record something and send it to us." Blah blah blah. And then there was probably 2 hours of just everybody in that chat ragging on me, ragging on each other, getting mad, cracking jokes. And like, I remember distinctly sitting at the table laughing my ass off. And Mark was like, "What's so funny?" And I was like, "I'm hurting kittens right now, trying to get them to do a video for me." And it's the funniest, I think, just back and forth I've ever seen. So I might do just a video of some of the comments in that thread
Oh
because,
yeah, yeah. That would
yeah,
actually hit because like everyone that would watch it, like our viewers, the majority of them would recognize the names and be like, "Oh, that's something they would say," or
yeah.
it'd just be funny. So to continue the trend of awesome stuff the crew is doing, it literally just got posted like an hour ago, so not everyone has maybe seen it yet, but Big Kevin posted a map of basically, I'm assuming he got the list from Tommy and Tanner, just like a generic, these are the zip codes of supporting members, and he was able to I hope he found a way to AI implement it, because I hope he didn't sit there and type out fucking 300 zip codes, because that would be tedious. But there's a map right now. I just shared it on our Instagram. It's on the Discord, where you can literally like see everywhere there's a supporting member. There's a pin on the world map, and I think that's pretty cool. The only thing I wasn't sure about is if when there's repeat zip codes, I don't think there was 2 pins. So because in Rochester specifically, I know there's a dude that lives like a mile from me that's actually a supporting member, and I'd only saw all the like there were three pins in like within like a 20-mile radius of my house. Uh, and I knew the other two dudes, but the other guy, he didn't see him on there. So I'm assuming if it was a repeat zip, maybe you didn't get a second pin. It's the only thing I could think of, but very cool nonetheless. And you and Steve are on there. I'm assuming Steve is the other crew because there's one in Hamilton and one south of Hamilton ish. I mean,
yeah, I'd be the one south of Hamilton-ish.
Okay, and he's closer to Hamilton.
Well, yeah, he's in Hamilton.
Okay, so then there's the two.
Yep.
So
that's cool. That's cool. We skipped over rating last week's episode.
No, this is not a descending order necessarily.
But you're the guy to tell me not to follow the instructions.
Well, I usually try to get the last. It's usually I usually try to have it at the end, but then just as I type stuff out, it just it is what it is. But yeah, let's Eric, what'd you think last week's episode of the Massonomics podcast?
Oh man, that's a tough one. With a punter being on there, you would think, hey, this guy's a kicker. He's not that strong. He's probably middle of the pack at best. And then he has that viral clip that goes wild all over the internet. And I thought it was funny because I remember watching that video live when I saw it, and I was like, man, this guy's going to get murdered for depth. Like, I'm not going to say anything, but I can see the trolls out there in the world.
Yeah.
So, and that was one of the first things he said is that, oh yeah, I got all kinds of stuff in my DMs about it's not ass to grass, buddy. So I'm definitely going to have to give it 5 iPod touches on that one.
Nice. Yeah. I saw that, or I did. That was I'm kind of I'm a gatekeeper on depths, but it is what it is. The guy's significantly stronger than me, makes a lot more money than me. If you watch any of his other videos, like you put the effort into watching his other videos, he can squat significantly more than that to depth, and he can fucking pull 700 for reps. So I'm not telling him shit. But yeah, that video was a little high, but it is what it is. It was still pretty cool. And that would have been the Sioux Falls recap video episode of them too. So having them getting their perspective was probably, I enjoyed getting their perspective, and I hope as the listeners of both podcasts, you basically 2 days in a row would have heard, this the sister podcast give their opinion of how the weekend went, and then me give my opinion of how the weekend went. So I think that was just good content all around for anyone that wasn't there. So for all those reasons, let's see, on the glaze scale. No, it's not on the glaze scale. So we'll go ahead and do 5 iPod touches.
The good old glaze scale. It kind of felt like the guy wasn't sure why he was there at first. And it's, again, I've said it before, it's kind of my favorite. My favorite guest is you hear the second they catch on, where they're like, and it's usually during overrated, underrated, is they're suddenly just like, wait, has this been not serious the whole time? And I like that realization. I did see the video, and I did see all the trolls and all of the depth hate, but I'm going to say something very controversial. Generally, the type of people that couldn't even hold the weight on their shoulders are going to be the ones to complain that he wasn't to depth. I get it. People have done that to me, where they're like, oh, it wasn't to depth. And I was like, you can barely fucking squat 2 plates. Like if I didn't crack parallel on double my body weight, calm down, man. It's fine. So that's just one of those. Yeah, I saw that too. But good episode. Hearing the Falls recap was really fun. Made me kind of jealous I missed it, but also I can only travel across the continent so many times in the span of one fiscal year. So I think I'm going to go ahead and give it, Kevin, if you're listening, I think we'll give this one a 5. So make sure you put that one on the spreadsheet. There's 5 iPod touches.
Good rating. I think the average will come out, on the back end. I don't have a calculator, so we can't figure that one out. We're not big math. Oh,
I love that hasn't gone away.
No,
and I make a lot of movie references, a lot of movie references. Last week when you were talking about being stuck in a car, and I said, or in an uncomfortable place, something like that, and I was like the back of a Volkswagen. So that is from Mallrat.
Mm-hmm.
When they're talking about anal sex.
I've seen that. I don't think I've seen that. But I saw that movie 20 years ago once.
And then you were like, yeah, it was really small. And I don't know if you saw, I muted my mic and died for a second. And somebody finally caught it in the Discord. I saw that. So what are you, big math now? Is actually a Super Troopers joke. from when.
I actually didn't know that. I just thought it was
Well,
something.
it's
But
kind of
I thought we were making fun of like Matt and his name
a
being
little bit,
sounds like math.
because he was the one that said something to me about my math, and I was
Yeah.
like, "What are you, big math?" Like instead of Big Matt, but it's also from Super Troopers where he says, "What are you, the shoe police now?" And because it's funny because they're the real police, so I always like that. What are you, the blank now? So I
Gotcha.
love that we're still doing the big math joke because it makes me fucking die every time.
Yes, I enjoy a good Harkin. I think I still get fucking what's this? Ryan tagged me in a platypus thing today, so like that's not gonna die either. Like that was like episode like
It's like episode like 3 or something like
yeah,
that.
it was
Like
early. Yeah, it was super early. So I
that's
enjoyed.
by the way, that's the segment of Joey poorly explains his movie references that nobody ever gets but me and like one other person.
Nice.
Usually,
I get most of them.
all right, good. Yeah, the Volkswagen one was really funny because like Keith was like, "Yeah, it was really small," and didn't clue into the joke at
Well, I
all.
mean, a Volkswagen is. I must have on the fly just and
The
like
hookers in the trunk.
yeah. This
Yeah,
week I just randomly had enough time this week to actually listen to our episode because also it was like it was with the, like the core three, you know, with our quote unquote leader. So it was nice to I don't know, I really enjoyed listening back to this one, but I definitely caught like at least 10 things that I don't remember hearing live like at all. So that kind of is gonna maybe nudge me to like, oh, maybe I should get back into listening to every episode. But it's just like fuck, that's another three it's another 2.5 hours I gotta find now.
of my
Uh
own voice.
yeah.
Ugh. Might as well
But
sit in the dark and masturbate to my own picture. Like it's weird, man. It's weird listening to your own podcast.
I
But
have
anyway,
someone. So I wish we had I wish I had a timestamp because I want someone to clip that, and I'm sitting in the dark masturbating to a picture of myself. That is that. I parent. Oh God, that's gonna be the fucking show
never
title. Jesus
again.
Christ.
Never again. It was one time.
That's more like Mark Wahlberg in Fear, isn't it?
Now, was there
It
any
is actually.
was there any crunchy peanut butter involved when you were sitting in the dark down there by yourself?
Oh, buddy, let me tell you, crunchy peanut butter's winning my poll.
That's because you rigged it with crunchy versus whipped, and whipped's not a thing. I had
Whipped
to ask
off.
this fucker if whipped is what they call it in Canada, because like he says weird shit all the time that is like just Canadian speak, and I'm like, is that Canadian? And he's like, no, I'm just
No,
fucking with you. And I was
no,
like, oh,
I was
okay.
totally
I'd
just
never
being
know.
silly. I wanted to be like best peanut butter, crunchy, or and then the one was gonna be the wrong answer. But no, like I like both peanut butter, but it was just funny that I was eating crackers with crunchy peanut butter, and I was like, I'm gonna trigger the fuck out of Keith right now. And then so Big Jake was like, "Does whipped? What does that mean?" And you know, he says, "What is
I love
whipped? What is whipped peanut butter?" And I said, "It's boring, is what it is."
that's
And he
funny.
goes, "Enjoy your gravel."
That's good. Well, I think it threw me off too because I think there is like a there's like there's so many different variations of peanut butter where they try to make it like somewhat healthy, and for some reason I think there is like a more fluffy, like not creamy, there is like a more like lighter peanut butter, like not like healthy light, but just like it's just, I don't know, it's got more fucking air in it or something. I don't know.
It's currently 58 to 42 in favor of
Yes,
crunchy ice cream or crunchy ice cream, crunchy peanut butter.
that's uh, so you got some orange glaze talk here, and then we can get into some predictions.
Yeah. I just want to. This is a really funny story. To me, I hope nobody else laughs, and I just look like a big loser doing this. I phoned my wife on my way home from work, and I was like, "Is there anywhere I need to stop?" Because she's been on a baking frenzy, and every year she goes on and bakes like everything for my guys at work, for the teachers, for the bus drivers, like everything, because she just wants to, spread love. And she goes, "Oh, can you stop at the LCBO and get me some Grand Marnier?" I was like, "Grand Marnier, yeah, sure, but you don't drink that. Why do you want it?" She says, "Well, I made these orange and clove chocolate bites, but they need there's like a cream that I can toss them in that uses Grand Marnier, and the Grand Marnier adds an orange flavor." And I yelled, "Are you fucking making orange glaze?" And she goes silent for a second. She goes, "I am making an orange glaze. Yes, I am." So I thought that was funny. I was like,
That is
"Oh,
good.
I'm putting that in the show notes as soon as I pull over."
That's great. And I know, is she a casual? Like, I know she's listened. I don't want to assume she listens to every episode, but I know she has
I
listened
think
to
I
some of
think she's
your
listened to every
episodes. Okay,
episode.
that's supportive. So she actually got it then. So that's cool too. Because
Mhm.
if that had been like reversed, and I asked my wife that, she's like she has no fucking clue what orange glaze is, other than like one of the 1,000 fucking meme accounts that follows her that she doesn't know who they are.
Yeah.
Like, so that's, I don't even know if she knows that I'm orange, that like I'm the original Orange Glaze.
Shout out to Big Stephanie.
Yeah. She's a trooper. She's not loving the whole she kid doesn't work from home anymore, and with the holiday season, and I just started my vacation, so she's like miserable that like I get to be home for the next like 10 days and she's got to go to work. So that's she's slightly annoyed at me just for the fact that I was able to use my PTO. Well, we're going to do a quick little segment here, which, something we definitely did not steal from the sister podcast at all. It's something Joey and I came up with Nate's help. You know, we're going to go ahead and do 3 quick little topics where we mention something, and Joey and I are going to pick if we think it is, you know, what the answer is going to be. I explained that extremely horribly, but
it was
we're going
great.
to
It was great work.
wow,
It was great work,
this is
Trebek.
going well. Joey, you want to take over and explain to me what I'm talking about?
No, because I actually still don't know myself. It's just the 2024 predictions. We've got 3 little things here that we're gonna. Somebody submitted the question, and we're just gonna like answer it now, and then in a year compare it to our answers to see what actually happened. So, for example, how many bars will Tanner buy for the gym?
Yes.
And it was like under 10, over 10, or something like that. And then it turned out to be like 25 because Tanner's a nightmare.
And that's why Joey has the English degree or the writing degree, and I do not, because I couldn't speak those words for some reason.
So you're the judge, and I'm the law talking guy.
Yeah. But here, okay. So number 1, we being the Unpaid and Underrated podcast will produce more podcast runtime than Massonomics. So as in like when 2024 wraps up on Spotify, the amount of runtime for someone that listened to both podcasts to completion for the entire year, we're going to edge them out. My prediction.
I just want to say that that to completion and edging are very different things.
Oh man, I can't say it on the podcast, but me and
that's
my
part of the
buddy
living
Big Chris
easy,
have been
right?
talking about something about that kind of sort of. Oh, he's gonna laugh when he listens to this in 3 months. Okay, so will we produce more material on podcast, more minutes than Massonomics in 2024? I'm going to say yes, because I believe we're going to last the entire year. We're not going to run out of guests. We're going to keep this train rolling, and our average runtime will edge theirs out by probably at least 5 to 10 minute average runtime. So I'm going to say we do have more minutes produced. What about you, Joey?
I'm going to say no. And I'm going to say it's because of the next prediction, which was we will have 5 or more non-interview episodes in 2024. And I think that we are going to lose half an hour to an hour on those episodes, because I think if they're non-interview episodes, we're not going to go for 3 hours. We're going to go for an hour and a half or 2 hours.
Yeah.
And 5, I think, so what, 52 weeks a year. If we're doing 5, that's 10% of our episodes. I'm going to say we end up with a few more than that. I'm going to say that we're going to go between 7 to 10.
Okay. Fuck. And I'm gonna go, just so there's a discrepancy, just so it's more fun. Even though I honestly think it'll be 5 to 6, I'll go under, because it's a good chance it still might be 4, because that's 1 a quarter. That means like, and it's either you and I basically have a guest no show, or because I don't think we're not going to get a guest. Like, we should be able to get a guest. So it's going to be
non-interview would be draft, right?
Yeah, so that's what I was getting at. Like, how many times does Nate want to do that? 4 times? Like, I could see Nate want to do that 2 to 3 times, plus us having one random one where, well, there's also, but then you might want to do a whole episode where you just recap the Arnold. Like, we could do that. They're definitely going to do a Lift Hard, Live Easy roundtable. Like, we can do shit like that. So Joey's going to go over. I'm going to go under. And then the last one here. Okay, so Massonomics, they will hit 475 supporting members in 2024. They're currently at 372. So, but and this is December 21st. In the next couple of days, they might gain 2 or 3 more supporting members. So my caveat of that was like, basically, are they going to get 100 new followers in 2024? Oh, I don't know.
I'm saying no.
Okay. That's fair.
Not because of them or us, but just as people. Like 474 total or 474 cumulative?
No,
Because if it's total, then we're gonna lose some before we as we gain some. Right?
Oh, yeah,
People are gonna just say, "I don't." Their credit card's gonna expire, and they're not gonna renew. And
that threw a whole
hard bags.
Yeah, that threw a whole new element in me. Because
Yeah.
there was a kid today, I think, that like just was welcomed back to the group. I didn't pick Dalton, I think it was. Oh shit.
Dalty?
Do I want to agree with that? 475, 3. No, I think that was 372, not counting bots and shit too. And well, I look at
I
it this
fucking
way.
hate those bots.
I don't know if that's 372 supporting members or 372 crew on Discord, because there's at least 20 or 30 crew that aren't on Discord. I'd imagine. So
supporting members that just aren't in there.
Whatever. I'm gonna say we are gonna hit it just to be different. So I'll have to actually go back and like write these down after the fact, but I think that we should get it. Well, it'll be all right. So someone remind us in 11 and a half months to look up these results and talk about it in 1 year. And I think that was there anything else? Yeah, that's the 2024 predictions, show notes, blah 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 blah. Okay. Well, Mr. Carpenter, we haven't let you talk at all, and I think I'm going to put the spotlight on you right now. Would you like to grace us with a little Massonomics sponsor read?
Sure. We'll do it live. Do you guys like beer parody shirts, drink safety, podcast about nothing, and then podcast about nothing? Might want to check out Massonomics. They have a lot of cool merch. Got one right here, the Massonomics podcast tee, and then various drink spotters behind me. And it's a fun time. A lot of living hard and living easy. And the guys are really silly gooses and make me laugh. Kind of consider myself a silly goose as well. So I feel like it's my kind of people. And just check them out at massonomics.com and buy some of their sweet merch.
Love it. Well done. I was afraid I forgot to ask you to do that like a couple weeks ago, because I think I had you on the schedule for a few weeks now, and then with the last couple weeks have just been crazy. So I'm like, did I reach out to Eric and actually settle this up? Because usually I basically yeah, make sure you have a sponsor read ready. I was like, oh, I don't fucking remember if I did that or not. So I'm glad you had that ready for us, bud. So, well, what do you think, Joey? Time to kick all these looky-loos out and see if we can get our guest on the horn.
Sounds good to me. Go ahead. I'll kick everybody out. You call them up.
All right. Hello, is that Big Carp?
Hey guys, hey.
I thought we were gonna have another.
There was a Keith internet connection deal there. I think we got it worked out though.
I don't know. That sounds like a big Matt microphone issue, if you ask me.
Oh yeah, it could be.
Which also could be considered a big Keith microphone issue too, if you've been following along.
You got to plug your microphone in to have an issue with it.
Yeah,
that hits home. I had an issue myself today, so mic's all around.
Well, we'll just go ahead and dive right in, buddy. What brought you to Massonomics? How'd you find us? Why are you still here? All that?
I really had to think back because I had known some of the guys or seen them around. Traced it back to kind of, I had seen the Lyft banner in a lot of Basement Brandon's videos.
Mm-hmm.
Classic banner, the Lyft logo there, and I was like, I had seen it around. I've seen some of the shirts, but I wasn't aware of Massonomics as a company or the podcast. I had just seen some of their stuff out there. And the first time I remember seeing the guys was on actually the Starting Strength podcast. I know some of the other guys have said that too, but I had been watching all those, the backlog of the Starting Strength podcast, even back when it was called Ask Rip, and then it later became the Starting Strength Radio. He had the other host on there, and that's where I originally saw him. And the classic, the baby shit yellow shirt, I believe it was. Is that the one?
All I know is I say it wrong every time, and I get roasted for it. So I don't fucking know anymore. It's piss yellow or something. I don't fucking know.
And then it's weird because thinking back too that even guys like Grant Brogy, I had known about him way before Massonomics too, because he was part of that, part of the Starting Strength stuff too. Before he even started making plates or equipment, I had seen him on a couple other podcasts, so I was familiar with him when he joined Massonomics. And then when my first piece of merch was actually flags. Yeah, before I bought a shirt, I actually bought the Lyft banner, the powerlifting, and the strongman when I redid my gym during like the 2020 purge and rebuy. I had got rid of all my older equipment, and I was like, okay, so we're gonna do it right this time. We're gonna do the stall mats, and we're gonna do the banners and stuff because I don't like a bare wall. and I knew I was moving, so I didn't want to paint the wall. So I did all banners. So those were my first 3 banners. And then when the White Lift T-shirt came out, that's what was my first actual T-shirt for Massonomics. And probably after that, I started listening to the podcast regularly. Right around that 200 episode, and listened to it from then on, and then went back to the backlog. I was about to say that I was the only one that's been through both backlogs, but I think Big Mo got me on that one. So I will say I may be the only one to hit the Massonomics or crew cycle, like in baseball, where you hit one or everything. Like for Massonomics, it would be being on both podcasts, because I have done a read on the sister podcast. Now I'm a guest tonight, and then I use both code crews, unpaid codes for the barbell rescue brush, and then the obsidian ammonia. So
nice.
Now you guys can try to hit the cycle as well.
So you gave me a little bit of money and Joey a little bit of money. I love it. We appreciate that, and there'll be more stickers to come.
That's how I got into Massonomics, and I've loved it ever since. I wasn't ever a big beer parody guy, so I do have some of the beer parody shirts, but most of my Massonomic shirts are non-beer parody. So if you see if they have a one that's not beer,
me too,
because I've got little kids. So, and then if I coach and stuff, I can't wear those to the ballpark. I mean, I can, but I don't.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, for me, it's kind of like watching a coach smoke or chew tobacco in front of you. I try not to do that stuff around kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I wear those in the home gym, the ones I do have, but I don't, the other one, my going out shirts, as they say, are not beer parody. So I'm not as aggressive as Joey might be in public.
Oh, nice. Well, as you mentioned, talk about your coaching. I had a lot of questions. People were like, "Is he a football coach? Is he like a legitimate coach for a living, or are you just coaching your kids' sporting teams?" Where does the Coach Carp come from?
Coach Carp started several years back. I was a little league coach. I don't do that anymore. Like it wasn't my kids. It was before I had kids.
Okay.
Me and my buddies would coach a little league team. And the kids would call me that. But then also, like at that time, I was really heavy. I was probably like 340 or something like that. This is probably like 2015, 2016. And I kind of went on a transformation and got down, lost about 120 pounds.
Damn.
And then when I was doing that, I had a lot of people coming to me for that type of coaching. I don't really do that anymore, but for a while, I got really thin. But that's where I kind of got into the Massonomics and the actual powerlifting type training, is because I had been doing that, a lot of cardio type stuff, and not really powerlifting. I was doing some barbell movements, but not like I am now. And I got to really small, and I was like, man, I'm weak. I don't like this. Like, I'd rather be bigger and stronger. So that was kind of the progression there. But that's where the name came from initially, was just, like a 8-9-year-old kid softball team, baseball team that I coached with a couple of my buddies. And that was really fun for the times that we did it. We did it for like 3 or 4 seasons. And then as I got older and had kids, now I coach soccer when we do it. Like, we're not doing soccer now, but my daughter is doing basketball. I'm not her coach for that, but there's not saying I won't be down the road, but I like coaching kids sports. I think it's fun.
That's cool. That's admirable. You don't see a lot of people like volunteering to coach sports when they don't already have like a niece and nephew, their own kid, like some kind of connection to it already. So that's I'll give you praise for that, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
We missed it real quick. If anyone wants to find you on Instagram, we always close with it as well, but just in case someone wants to go figure out who you are right now in the middle of the podcast, if they don't already follow you, where can they find you at, buddy?
Probably the best place is just Coach Carp 76 on Instagram. That's where I do a lot of my training and stuff, and I'll post hacks and stuff like that if I get them. And then I've got a YouTube channel, Carp's Gym. It's kind of a smaller channel, but I'd like to do equipment reviews on there, post hacks and stuff there too. So either one of those is a good spot. I think you'll find some good stuff there if you're into powerlifting training or any kind of home gym stuff.
Yeah, you definitely feel that you're putting a lot of the content out that, like, it's stuff that I'm actually interested in. It's not you're not doing a bunch of tech in the gym stuff and shit that's like, powerlifters got no interest in. So everything you're usually talking about is like, oh, I can see the point in that product for the most part. So I don't know that I watch all your stuff, but I do follow you. I probably watch the majority of it that comes out. So I always get a kick out of, your edits, and I can see your progression as you've been doing it for a while now. It's like maybe a little less clunky as they were when I first started watching your stuff a while ago. So
thank you.
so you're doing good. Man, I do appreciate you don't add as much audio as our mutual friend Jonathan does, because he got me today. I thought my fucking phone was ringing once, and I thought there was someone at the doorbell the next time, because he just puts all these random ringers and buzzers in his video, and I'm just like looking around like, is that something of mine going off? So I figured you'd appreciate it and get a chuckle out of that, because I'm sure it's happened to you too. 120 pounds, man. That's crazy. I didn't
Yeah, I put it.
when your wife told me about that, that's crazy. That's how did you manage that, my friend?
Honestly, man, it's the simple stuff. Kind of like I think you guys had Spoon on before, or Big Spoon Man. Is you just kind of got to plan it, dude. Like I'm not really on it right now, but like it proves to you that if you just plan and do your your meal prep and stuff like that, and for the most part, like a lot of us party, powerlifting guys that train like to lift for strength. A lot of us eat a lot of the same stuff anyway. Like you probably eat a lot of grilled chicken and steak and stuff like that, and then various carbs, whatever, vegetables, whatever you want to do. But I found out like I eat most of the same stuff, and I just try to get stuff that I like. So if you're a guy that can eat chicken every day, you can make that 7 different ways and put 4 different vegetables with it, and you got something different every day. So some people can't do that. Some people can't eat chicken every day, and I think that's where they struggle. If you can be disciplined like that, I mean, I got really lean. I had like the Shadow 8-pack, but
Nice.
I wasn't happy with my strength. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had to suck it in and do it at an angle, but it was there, and I've got pictures to show it. But I mean, I'm not trying to brag, but it was like a year process of doing that. So it doesn't take a lot to get the ball rolling. So anybody can do it if you're out there thinking, man, I need to trim down, I need to throw some cardio in. The most of it is going to be just your meal plan is what it's going to be.
For sure. For sure. Well, one of my buddies that I was talking to at Crew Falls said we don't get enough background information on the guests. So I'm not really sure where to go with that, other than maybe ask a little bit more about what you do for a living. So you want to tell us what you do for a living, or what your career path has been, or anything you want to talk about on that, just so people
Sure.
can get a better understanding of who Eric is and what he's done in his professional life.
Yeah, I'm kind of a blue collar guy. I mean, the collars may have become white over the years, but it's still blue labor type work. Like I'm actually in liquor sales now. I've been pretty much a vendor, what they call a vendor, which you sell to like grocery stores, convenience store chains, things like that. Things like that. Various products. Like I've worked for Coca Cola, Dr Pepper Snapple, or I think it's called Keurig now, but it's the parent company that owns that. And now I'm working for a distributing company that sells liquor. So we do a lot of wine sales. We have hard liquor and stuff, but one thing most people don't know, if you're from another state, you guys probably have no idea, is that I'm in Nashville or close to Nashville, Tennessee, and we've only had wine in grocery stores here for like the past 6 years. So prior to that, it was not even a category. So when I left from Coca Cola to came over here, they were starting a new category, and they were looking for salesmen that were already in the business and other brands and other fields to use for their wine company. That's how I got involved in it, because one of my old bosses transferred over, and then he kind of told him about me and recruited some other guys from Red Bull and other companies like that. But I will say it's definitely helped my family. Like I've got weekends off, which is really nice. Most days I'm home at a decent time. Where before I'd work several really long hours. So that's kind of been my progression over the years. Um, I went to MTSU, Middle Tennessee State University, for college and did the human performance, and that's where I kind of saw some of the differences in how like we trained in high school to how like college and pro guys do it. And you'll see there, or what my experience was like, most of those guys are just freaks. It doesn't matter what you tell them to do, like they can probably do it, or show them once or twice and they'll get it. So just like the guy, the punter for the Rams, like some of that he's just born with. Like I'm sure he's
Mm-hmm.
worked hard over time and added to that. But guys like Dan Bell and all that, they start at a certain point that not all of us do. Like, I've been training my gym for 5-6 years, and my numbers are not anywhere close to those guys. And
Same.
but I'm still working hard. So that's kind of the progression. And I've kind of been in that kind of position ever since, like pretty much since college. So probably going on what would it be? Almost 15 years doing that kind of job. So It's like I'm out in the car a lot of times, so I get a lot of windshield time. So that's where like I catch up on a lot of the podcasts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If I can't watch it, I can always listen to it. And then that's one way. Like I went back and did the all the old podcasts and listen to it on like 1.5 or something. You can get through them pretty quick, especially the early episodes. But I do have that much time to drive. Like I might work a 12-hour day, but I might be in the car 5 6 hours a day. Commuting around, stopping over here, then driving 30 minutes, and then that kind of stuff. So I do get a lot of time to do that, which I really like. So I'm not doing the same thing every day. I mean, you might be on a route in an area, but you're not doing the exact same thing every single day. So that's what I like about it.
It's funny that you bring that up. We haven't had. We just got alcohol in grocery stores up here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then we'll be getting it in convenience stores probably in next year. And it's a very controversial thing around here. I won't get into the politics of it all.
Right. It was here too.
Yeah, but I mean,
because we're in the Bible Belt.
Well, you'd think we are based on the way some people talk, but it's funny because I think us and one other province are the only provinces in Canada where you can't get liquor in convenience stores. And that turns out, and I don't want to give too much away, but I ended up talking to the guy that's responsible for that. He's like, I'm retiring because I'm the guy that got alcohol into convenience stores. And it's interesting because I think your job is the only job that could easily take me from my current job. And now that we have that opportunity coming, it's just a thing. Yeah, I was like, I've always said Jaeger could pull me away if they gave me even half of what I make and full benefits. Like you pull me away easy, right? Because I would love my job. So it's pretty funny.
I think you would, man. Those align. I think you would because in that type of job, you'll get to do some fun stuff too. Like you'll get to go do samplings and sponsor events and that kind of stuff. It won't just be the same. I mean, depending on how you go and move up in the company, but I mean, anything, something like that, the sky's the limit. I tell my guys all the time, like that work with me or adjacent to me, is like, if I could have had this job when I was 25, it would have been a totally different trajectory. Like, there's more opportunity in this type of position. Like, there's really no limit to how much alcohol you can sell. Like, people are getting turning 21 every year. So,
yeah.
I think you would like it if that's something you want to look into. But if you ever have any questions, man, feel free to reach out.
I will, but
I can do for you.
It's just kind of like one of those things that aligned because it's been on my mind today because of all of the things that are coming out. It's going to open up jobs for people to do your job up here in Canada. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, without this podcast, we wouldn't have just made that crew connection. How would I say that? Yeah.
Nope, that was messy.
I butchered it. But that was
But I do get crap all the time because I'm not really a drinker. Like I drink, Diet Coke and stuff like that. I'm not a hard drinker, or I don't drink wine or anything. But I sell it for a living. But I tell people I didn't drink regular Coke either when I sold that. But I sold a lot of it. So it's better if you do because you can learn more about it. Like I've had training and stuff on some of that stuff, and then they'll do the same thing for you. So if it's something you're into, I mean, it's worth looking into.
Yeah, you can tell me what a tannins is, but nobody cares a fuck.
Well, do you really want to know?
That was a wine joke. Keith.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I was gonna segue into it.
He's the no wine seller.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, you and I clash on that. It was a good segue though, because I wasn't sure what you just said, and that's pretty similar to when I get a text or a DM from Eric. I have to fucking decipher it because this son of a bitch uses talk to text nonstop with an extremely thick Southern accent and doesn't proofread before he hits send. So that was one of the things I asked 2 or 3 people. It was multiple people, wanted me to bring up your or texting grammar. And this is coming from me. I'm a very bad texter with horrible grammar, and you beat me by like times 3. So is that something you get from a lot of your buddies giving you shit? Is like, do you text that bad with your like family? Like, I just no, I'm it's busting your balls.
But Carp's gonna cry. He's like,
true.
Nobody's ever said this to me, man.
Bullshit.
No. I'm in another group with Keith, and I hear
that would be so fucking funny. Like, no, man, nobody's ever said anything to me. What are you talking about? Like he could have had you so good right
Oh,
there.
that would have. Oh, I only say shit like that when I already have a rapport. Like Harp and I are in
Oh, I
a big
know.
group chat and stuff for home gym stuff. And he gets his balls busted in there all the time. I'm just curious if the not necessarily the backstory, but just like you are aware of it, and it's just I don't know how to fix it or
Yeah, it's
get
not
better.
perfect. Like if I'm doing it, like I told you, like I'm in the car or something a lot of times,
Yeah,
or I'm doing something else, and so I can't sit there and type it, but like I can talk it, you know.
yeah,
And like you're saying, sometimes it just doesn't pick up the
yep,
word or the dialect. Like a
yep,
quick short story on that right there. I was messaging Gluck the other day, sporting member also,
yeah, yes.
and he was like, "Okay, buddy, you're just gonna have to try again. I have no idea what this is."
And Gluck was the main one. I think he was the first one that mentioned like he had a oh
He said, "Try again."
he had like a whole paragraph of how like you need to text better basically, and he wanted me to bring up like why you not necessarily why, but he just we all know why. It's just we know what you do. It's just funny because 99% of my correspondence with you outside of being on a couple other podcasts has been text back and forth and group chat stuff back and forth. And I'm just like, what the fuck did he say? So
And some of it has to do with like just stuff that we talk about, like knurling and stuff like that. Like
yeah, they're not common
the
words too.
iPhone has no idea what knurling is or
That's
whatever. Like
true.
it gives you some other like gnome or something. You're like, no,
Yeah.
that's not even close. Like but that's some of it too. But yeah, I'm aware of it. But
Just fun to.
supposedly there's a new hack where you can change it before you send it, but I still haven't figured that out.
I think on Instagram today allowed me to edit a DM, which was like I thought it let me do it a while ago, and then it went away, and then today it came back. So I don't know if I'm getting that mixed up with iPhone because I know I can do it on iMessage now too, which is
Yep.
awesome, and I take advantage of that like daily. But today it literally let me do it in an because it actually prompted me because I went to go copy and I had like a whole paragraph and I looked at it and there was like two fucking typos that changed the whole context of it. So I was like, okay, let me copy it, delete it. And as soon as I went to copy it, it was like, do you just want to edit? And I was like, oh yes, because it like knew what I was trying to do. But that was pretty cool that let me do that. So I don't know. It's all in good fun, buddy.
Oh
It was
yeah,
just
I'm with you. It
it was
makes me
just
laugh too sometimes.
Oh, I just thought
I
it would have. I would say it would have been a good chance to fuck with you.
yeah, that would have got me good.
Never heard of her.
Yeah. But how about your YouTube? Is that getting where you want it to be, or is it a slow burn, or how? Because I feel like you put a lot of effort into it. Like you probably, I'd say so you work 50, 60 hours a week. You're probably putting another 10 hours in YouTube and Instagram content, right? So
Yeah, I set out with the goal of the year. I just wanted to make one video a month. Like
okay.
like I said, hey man, like it all stemmed from like talking to Joe Gray about about a year and a half ago, and we were just talking, on DMs and stuff like that, and all the stuff that's going on out there with other companies that do reviews, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
That
we'll get into that a little later.
Yeah, if it's like if you don't like what they're doing, won't you do something? And that's we kind of started having that talk, and I said, well, I don't know if it'll be any good, but I'll give it a shot. And so I set out to say I'm going to try to make one video a month and see if I can. That's all I'm going to commit to. And then just as opportunities came, sometimes it'd be 3 a month, sometimes it's one a month. I wanted to see if I could really get to 1,000 subs just for fun. Like, I'm not really trying to make money or do anything like that. I'm not doing it as a business or anything. I'm just doing it for fun and trying to get enough following to where it at least supports itself, where I'm not out of
Hmm.
pocket like for a website and all that kind of crazy stuff. So, um, if it ever did something great, but I'm not, I have a good job, so I'm not too worried about that. But I just like the equipment aspect of it, man. Like I like to geek out on equipment. I know like it's maybe not Joey's thing, but I know Keith knows what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
All the different bars and things like that. So I made it to I think about almost 700 subscribers. So I didn't make it to 1,000, but I didn't think I would get to 700. So there seem to be a lot of people that like it. And I get a lot of DMs and messages. Hey man, that really helped me get this bar. Or, I couldn't decide between these two. So can you help me out? And sometimes people will buy from your link if you do that. And then, sometimes you're just helping guys out. So I try to look at it from, I've been a smaller guy and I'm a bigger guy. So I like to look at it from the aspect of, is this piece of equipment good enough for at least an average person, or if not a larger size person? Like if this bench says it holds 700 and this dude is 275, 300 pounds, is it going to collapse on him?
Mhm.
I'm not looking to, you know, make money for other companies. I just want, to get the honest review. So that's kind of where I started with it. I have got some free stuff from companies. They have sent me some items. But I always tell them, hey, I'm going to say what I want to say. I'm going to test it how I want to test it, and it'll be how it is. But some companies are cool with that, some aren't. But I'm not trying to make money off it, so I don't care if they get mad or not. But that's kind of the way I look at it. But yeah, I think it's been fun. It's definitely a grind if you want to make it a good video. Like you try to edit it up and stuff, try to make it decent. But I learned a lot, through the process. So I think it's good for anybody to try that, just because you can learn, little, even if it's for your reels and stuff. You learn little editing tricks and how to put a video in, how to put a picture over a video and stuff. I didn't know any of that stuff last year, so it's kind of fun just figure it out on your own. So I hope people get it. Hope people enjoy it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I find it hard enough to keep up with just putting out one or two fucking Instagram posts a week on between all my channels. So it's like I couldn't imagine like, all right, I got to keep Instagram happy yet make YouTube content, and I can only do so much cross contaminant. Not can you can only like just post the same shit on both platforms because then like the people aren't gonna go to either. You know what I mean? Like you can like crop something from YouTube and make it a reel, but it's gotta then that's a whole to do as well. So yeah, that's I imagine you're putting a lot of time in it, but I've been keep it up, buddy. It's we'll get you to 1K one of these days. And then when we do, are we gonna go to can we go to Wendy's and celebrate? Because I hear you like are let's see, Wendy's Chops is a nickname. Is that that was a horrible segue. I'm
Anyway,
batting, I'm like
speaking of
0 for 7 tonight.
segues,
Yeah.
we've got this little game we like to play.
Yeah, it's where we talk about your nickname, Wendy's Chops.
Oh, that's got to be for my butt. Like, well, it's got. Well, I think I only gave you one of my high school buddies.
Yeah.
But it was from a couple of them. But that's probably from Dustin. Yeah, it's like high school football days. Like we had grew up in a small town. When I first started growing up in that like grade school, that type of stuff. We had no stoplights or anything. Like it was a four-way stop town. I think it had like 6,000 people or something like that. Like as I got older, it grew a little bit. We got more fast food chains and stuff like that, and it was a big deal when we got McDonald's and Wendy's. So that was like the only thing around like for 20 miles. Like there was other, if you wanted to go to the big town, you had to go, to another restaurant. But so we had a Wendy's in town, and I had a buddy that worked there also. So like I would go there like during the summertime, probably every day or every other day, and I had like a certain thing I would get. They used to have the dollar menu back then, or and then I don't know. I think maybe it's only a Tennessee thing, but the double stack, which is like a double cheeseburger, but it's bigger than the McDonald's burger. But you could get two of those, a fry and a drink, and it was under $5 or whatever. So they used to make fun of me because I would get that was like my combo. They called it the carp combo. And at the time, I had really long sideburns. Like you can see my beard now, but in high school, they're not. People just grew them out long, so I had them all the way out. I had a coach that called me Elvis, and then they called me Wendy's Chop because they said they saw my car at Wendy's all the time, and I had long sideburns. Like
that's funny.
That's where that comes from.
Well, it was a horrible segue, but it was a really good story. I enjoyed that. That was the one that stuck
bring
out.
Bring back the dollar menus.
Yeah, no, for sure. I used to have Wendy's was my jam. I could go there like I used to go there all the time, and I know exactly what I would order. It would be like a junior bacon cheeseburger, a small fry, a small frosty, and a water. And it would be like 417 or 437 or something. So I know and I would like that's back when all I had was cash back then. So I would literally walk in with like the exact change because I knew what it would cost because I was fucking like 16, 17 years old, working for like in beer and gas money basically. So, when I was, that was like a treat for myself. And I was like, oh, I know that's going to cost $5 or less. So, but yeah, Wendy's was my jam growing up.
Back when you could fill your tank up for $9.95.
Yeah, back in the day. But yeah, that was definitely the nickname out of the list that I was given that I wanted to touch on.
Yeah, that was late 90s.
It was the only one that wasn't self-explanatory.
Okay.
EC, Big Carp sandwich, carp, like all those. We don't need to get into those because I don't think there's no story there really that's not obvious with your last name being Carpenter. So yeah.
The Big Carp sandwich was a Subway deal that they made up. Like, so I got a couple of fast food deals in there.
Well, I feel like I've been monopolizing this. You got anything you want to talk to him about, Joey?
Well, throw me at on the spot there.
Oh, I mean, you've only had a half hour of me talking to think of something.
Yeah, but you're doing so well. You're doing so
I'll keep
well.
going. So Big Carp, what was I making fun of you? So I hear you're a shitty texter, You want?
Well, I feel like I know Keith already because we're in another chat group and we talk quite a bit through Instagram and
Yeah,
stuff.
and to be
And
fair,
I feel
that's
like
kind
I
of
know Joey because of the podcast, but I don't ever talk to him like this.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that's kind of why I was letting like I'm not gonna over dominate anything because next week our guest is I'm somebody I'm very familiar with, and I'm
Yep.
sure I'm gonna do the same thing to Keith. So so I gotta say, it says that you're a big movie guy. So if you watch 75% of all movies, or do you finish your movies?
Yeah, I'll watch them. I watched a bunch of bad ones. Kind of I don't know if anybody told you, but probably for almost 20 years, I worked at a movie theater. So
How
from
long?
all the way from high school, almost 20 years, like off and
Jesus.
on, like yeah, at least 15. Like yeah, it was a good. I think I was. But I mean, it's like one time I was just a guy that did started the movies and sold the popcorn, and another time I was a manager. So, but it was the same chain.
Hmm.
So I saw for about 15 years at least, probably maybe a little longer. I saw almost every movie that came out because we had to preview it at our. If it came out in the theater, I probably saw it. So when we're playing the Has Tommy Seen It or things like that, I'm like, oh, dude, how did you not see that? But I'm like, oh wait, I worked at a movie theater for like 20 years and he hasn't.
Yeah.
So that was part of the old thing is you had to watch it before you played it because everything was on film back then. So if there was something wrong with the film and you had a customer come watch it and you never knew that there was a hole in the film or that it jumped cut to somewhere thing because sometimes you get a brand new print, what they call print, which is the actual film that you run through the projector. And other times you would get it from another theater. So if they messed something up
Mhm.
in transit or they had an issue at their theater and cut a piece of it out, you would never know. So unless you watched it beforehand. So we had to do all that too. And now everything's digital. Like as I was leaving, it all became digital on hard drives and stuff like that. But they still preview them to this day because you could have a corrupted hard drive or something, and that's all digital now. But that one time it was all film that ran through a projector.
Yeah, I worked for a theater in high school. Honestly, like looking back now, like it was minimum wage, but it was like the funnest job I ever had. As far as like I think I was 16 working with a bunch of anywhere from like 16 to 20 some year olds because it was a college town. So like, I always had someone there to buy me beer and shit, but like I didn't pay for a movie because let's say so I worked there from basically like sophomore year of high school till I don't know, like I worked there for a couple years and I got into went and worked at the Outback as like a busboy I think and make a little more money. But I still knew people that worked at the theater until I moved out of town like 8 years later. So I didn't pay for a movie for fucking like years because I still knew someone that worked there and all you had to do was name
Nice.
drop. Hey, what's his face said I could go in, and 9 times out of 10 I walked up and I still could recognize at least like the people that I used to work with were now like the managers and shit. So it wasn't like, it might have been like one person that was still fucking selling popcorn that, I had started with, but for the most part, everyone had like moved up. Anyone that was still there was like a manager. So it was still cool to, not pay for a movie for years and years and years. So I was able to, have some pretty cheap dates basically by, I get half off at whatever restaurant I was working at and then I could go to a free movie. So, but yeah, it was a fun. I remember like we would do like late night showings or something if we'd get like a new clip in and we'd watch it the night before or and just getting the posters were cool because we always had like you could sign up for which movie poster when it like left the theater, like who could claim what poster, and you could put up in your house and shit. So I had movie posters for years.
What time were you work? What time was that when you were working in the movie?
uh like '01 to '02 probably, so like sophomore year of high.
Do you,
Yeah.
do you remember like a big movie during that time?
Matrix, one of the Matrixes, I think the Matrix 2 came out,
Yeah, that
and
was a big one.
fuck, I could
Fast and Furious or anything like that. That was around that time.
probably one
Yeah.
of the Fast and
Austin Powers
what there was
too.
definitely an Austin, yeah, one there was
Yeah.
the one with Beyonce was definitely out when I was in a bunch of kid movies.
Yeah.
I think some of the Star Wars were coming out maybe. I watched so much stuff there. I'd have to really think back, but that was my first that was my first pay stub job, like actually like not just something under the table getting
Where you got
cash
a W-2.
construction or something. Yeah, I actually had like a real job and was like working with like not just like on a construction site as like someone's fucking kid. So
Well, I
And that's
remember.
what I always tell. That's what I always tell people. It's like they're like younger kids. Like you should always work in a restaurant, in retail, or in the service industry like that. because you learn so many things that'll help you later in life. And movie theater, like, you know, you have a lot of fun, but you have customers, so it's customer service and all that stuff. Like, I think everybody needs to do that at some point in their life, especially when they're younger. It helps a lot.
When I was first started in the industry I'm in now, it was in a mall that had a movie theater. And you guys talking brought up something where we
Mall
were.
rats.
Yeah, mall rats. Where we were situated by an entrance. And you said that like in the old days, you'd get the film from either directly from the company or so the security on those films was insane. Like I think they came in on armored trucks, right? Like they would come in completely locked. They got giant padlocks on them. Like that was kind of what kids
When we did it,
nowadays you never really know that.
we had a company that only delivered those.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know if it's armed, but it was like a van that only had they had padlocks on them and everything. So
yeah,
you didn't get the key until it was delivered. Like the key would come in the mail, and then the package, then you could open it when you got to the. So you couldn't. I mean, I guess you could break into it or whatever, but it was pretty secure. Like it wasn't like UPS or FedEx. It was like a third
yeah,
party company that only did that.
yeah. That was
Speaking
pretty
of life
crazy.
skill, sorry. Speaking of life skills, Eric was talking about. I think the biggest life skill I learned at that young age working there was how to hustle and how to do like barter. Because I would barter free entries with like other people in the mall for like food and shit. Like the dudes at the pretzel place, I
Yes.
would because when we basically had like these refund tickets that if anyone ever had to leave the theater or had like basically a free entry coupon to any movie. And you were supposed to tear it, and if you were working the door, you were supposed to tear it in half and give them their ticket back. But I would just pocket them and then try to fucking turn around and trade them and sell them and shit because I was like 16. I was just looking, I was just needing money. I didn't give a fuck. These places, these were stealing my
Hmm.
labor for minimum wage. I don't give a shit. So I learned how to like be intelligent and make side money and hustle money. And I would always let my good friends in. But if I just kind of casually knew you, it was like, I don't know, give me like $2. I'll let you in. Like sure, I'll let you in for free ish, but I'll sell, give me a third of what the ticket is because I need to make some extra money tonight. So, and then just bartering for like restaurant with other restaurants in the place was, that was definitely my jam back in the day.
Yeah, that's a nice hack. We used to do the same thing. Like when I was in management, I use those to like if it was a holiday or something and all the kids got to work, like all of them are teenagers, like so if I was like 25 and they're all like 16, we'd go get like O'Charlie's or something, and I would trade the tickets. Like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, we're gonna be, you can let everybody come watch a movie and just let us feed all my guys or whatever. And that's I used to do the same thing, but in the management we just had a big roll of them,
Yep. Yeah.
so you
Yep.
could just go, here you go, O'Charlie's manager. Have a good
That's
night.
that's good stuff. Well, I think we definitely covered working in movie theaters, and we got a few other things we could chat with. So, you're a girl dad. Do you ever are all of them into sports? Have they followed your footstep on that, or kind of going their own
Yeah,
way?
well, like in the gym here at home, like my daughters play soccer, and we just signed up my youngest for basketball. So, funny story on that. Her grandfather was a good basketball player, back in the day, and that his actual nickname was Smoke. Like always never missed or whatever.
Hmm.
So if you go to like a theme park or something, like he's one of those guys that could win a
Oh yeah,
giraffe
yeah.
or whatever. Like he doesn't really miss.
That's
And
impressive. Those are usually rigged with like a smaller diameter.
right. So that's how you know. It's how you know somebody's
Yeah.
pretty good or whatever. And so like my daughter had practice the other day, and she kind of sandbagged. Like when she doesn't know a lot of, like, she's kind of get anxiety when it's like new people and stuff. But she knows how to play. She knows how to dribble. She knows, but if it's like a group of people she doesn't know, she's hesitant to get in there. So it kind of takes her a while to warm up. And then normally once she's practiced with people that she's fine. But so she's kind of like standing on the side and not wanting to get in line with other kids and stuff. And then she gets up there and takes a shot, and the coach looks at me because it's nothing but net. And then it's like, okay, maybe that's luck. And then she does another one, and she makes like a couple in a row. And my wife has it on like Instagram, whatever. And I'm like, I get after the thing, and I tell him later. I said, yeah, man, you got the granddaughter of Smoke over here. Like, didn't miss a shot in the tank practice, but everybody thought she couldn't play because she was standing on the side. But just took her a little while to get warmed up. But yeah, here in the gym, I've got them some kids equipment. I've got some little bumpers and stuff for them, stuff with plate snacks. Like they really love that. Yeah, use code unpaid
I was just
for your.
gonna say, we'll go ahead and consider that our affiliate link ad read for the week. Go ahead and use Plate Snacks code unpaid. Their missions to transform the gym into a vibrant, personalized space with custom vinyl weight plates and decals, et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to steal his story, but code unpaid. Save you 10%.
Such
I
a
was gonna give it. I was gonna give it to you.
Oh, it was perfect, but kind of unnatural. It was great.
Well, yeah, and if code unpaid doesn't work, go ahead and use code. I'm assuming it's Coach Carp or just Carp. We have a
I
lot of
think
this.
place thanks is just cart, but use unpaid first. I always tell
Uh,
people if I'm not willing to use somebody else's code, then don't use mine. So I'm proof that I've used other people's
and yeah,
codes.
we do appreciate that. You've like for the first month, I think I had 3 purchases on the barbell rescue, and you were 2 of them, and Tanner was the third. So I really appreciate that. And then once they started talking about it on theirs, it's been, I think we've got like 6 in the last couple of weeks, and Joey got one.
Yep.
That's hopefully it doesn't get stuck in Carol Stream for 6 months.
No, because they're shipping it a different way. It's actually in Maryland right now. So
nice.
But yeah, I've got them. I've got them the little plate snacks, donut stickers. I got them some pink bumper plates and stuff like 10 pounders, and I got a little kids junior bar and a mini Oso bar. It's like a 5 pound bar and a 20 pound bar. But one of the coolest things was last summer whenever Kurt Locker came to visit, and he showed my oldest daughter 9, Ellison, that how to do the Jefferson deadlift. So that's now her favorite. That's her favorite lift.
That's awesome.
And she's entered the last 2 contests. So doing the Jefferson,
awesome.
it's like a 50-pound deadlift, but she loves it, man. And she's like, Dad, can I do my lift? I'm like, all you want. Like, I don't ever push it on them or tell them, hey, it's all play for them. So like, I'll just let them do what they want. Like, here's your guys' stuff, have at it. Here's the clips. Here's the collars. Here's the bumpers, and just go to town. And but yeah, I really like it. And maybe the girl dad thing may have come from my mother-in-law. She makes I don't know where she gets them, but she has given me like girl dad shirts. So I've got like a hoodie and a girl dad. Like when we went for like Halloween, we walked around. I was wearing the girl dad hoodie, and I met a guy the next road over. He's like, "Oh, are you in the girl dad Facebook group or whatever?" And I'm like, "Nah, man, what is that?" And he's like, so apparently there's another group that you can join. It's all guys that are dads, so and have daughters. So just like a local guy told me about it, but that's the first thing I've heard about that. But I have been wearing if I go to a ball game, I don't always wear my Massonomic shirt, but I do wear like the girl dad shirt to the ball practice, stuff like that. And they get a kick out of it, I think.
Well, it's nice to be part of. I mean, I love being part of Massonomics and crew. It is nice to be in a couple other niche things too. Like, I don't want to make my entire personality fucking Massonomics. I mean, like if you want to do that, Phil, Tanner, Tommy would love that. But I like to be slightly more diverse. But yeah, Massonomics is probably 70% of my personality. But it is cool to know that we're not all like you can be part of other things. You don't have to be so pigeonholed into my only group of friends can be supporting members. That's one thing I won't gatekeep on is fucking have lots of friends.
I told Tanner the other day, I said, man, I tricked you. I tricked you into selling me a $9 calendar instead of a $30 calendar because I was about to buy this $30 shirt to get that calendar, but you ran a sale, so I only had to spend $9.
Oh, I'm so mad about that. So I opened it and I was like, it's the last large I'll go no show. And I was like, you know what, man, no, because the shipping's the same cost as the shirt. That's fucking stupid. I'm not gonna do that. And then like half an hour later, I was like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And then it was gone.
Yeah, that shit sells out quick.
And there it was, gone.
Yeah, I think unless you want a daddy's home shirt, there's not much left in stock.
No, I do not.
I know, right? Let's see. I had one. Okay, so here's one I wanted to touch on. In this episode, I've already watched you house 2 Diet Cokes, and that kind of leads into there's a whole story about you going out with one of your buddies at Cracker Barrel, and you just got a ton of you went back and got 10 different refills of Coke or something to that extent. So that's not necessarily a funny story, but the fact that I just saw you drink 2 or 3 Diet Cokes in the last hour is just hysterical because that was going to be one of my questions. So big Diet Coke fan, I see.
Yeah, like I said, it's the original sparkling water.
Oh yeah.
But I will say, all fairness to the Massonomics guys, I have drank more sparkling water in the past couple of years following Massonomics than I have in my entire life. So
same.
The best one I've found is, in my opinion, is the Waterloos. I think they have really good flavor. But yeah, that was we were on a trip to not Kings Island. It was Six Flags with my buddy and his family. And at the park, the drinks are like, I don't know, $10 for a Coke or something. It was something crazy like that. Like the beverages there. So we go there all day. We had water and stuff, but I hadn't had a Diet Coke like all day. And as a teenager, like my mom, that's all she bought. So that's what we always had in the house, is either that or sweet tea. In the South, we drink a lot of sweet tea. And so we go there, and my buddy's like, "Man, did you just drink a Diet Coke? Diet Coke? Like, we haven't even got our food yet or anything." I'm like, "Yeah, man, they're free. Like, it's you buy one, they're all the next one's free." And so like that worked that lady to death, man. As a teenager, having to refill. I was like, I'll save you time. Just take that picture, set it right down here, and I'll tell you when to come back and get the picture.
Yeah.
And so his dad thought that was the craziest thing he'd ever seen.
That is funny.
And that you could put that in. See, like I don't really have a high tolerance to caffeine, so like it doesn't really like most pre-workouts don't really. I mean, I get up for a workout, but nothing crazy. But I just have a high tolerance. Like where my wife.
Oh, you do have.
If she drank,
didn't. Okay, I got you.
No, I do. Like if she had half a Diet Coke, she wouldn't be able to sleep. And that's just some people are real different. I don't respond that as much to caffeine. I guess
that was a follow up is that it's 10 o'clock here, it's 9 o'clock where you're at, and you just drank 2 Diet Cokes. If I drank 2 Diet Cokes at 9 or 10 o'clock, I wouldn't go into bed till like 2 in the morning because that's just enough caffeine to keep me up. So
yeah, man, I'll fall right to sleep. I'll be the first one to go to sleep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Okay. You want to hit us with an ad read, Joey? You got anything?
Yeah, I can do that.
My man.
Yeah, I could do that. Holy monkeys. Based out of Ontario, Canada, Obsidian Ammonia has become one of the, I fixed your typo, or our typo, of the leading names in smelling salts for the lifting community. Combining extra strong salts, a passion for the sport, and a silly goose marketing plan, Big Travis has become an important part of PRs in gyms across the world. From basic salts that will help a PR to the strongest thing to ever slice your face apart. These salts combine science with a violence to assist you with your next max attempt. So check out Obsidian Ammonia at hypedust.com and use code UNPAID on any order to save 15%.
Nice. So I think we're just under the 90-minute mark. So I think I'm gonna go 2 or maybe 2 more. I got one I want to do. I don't know if there's any of what's left that you wanted to touch base on, but I'm gonna do a little fuck, marry, kill with Big Carp, a little FMK. You ready, buddy?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. So
I'll have an answer. Do I get to use my druthers?
Yeah, you can use your druthers all you want. So we're gonna go with Basement Brandon, Adrian Gluck, and Cooper Mitchell. FMK.
Oh, you son of a bitch! I had the same one down for you. So kill 2 birds, 1 stone here, or whatever.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I'll answer it after you. Then.
2 horses, 1 ass on this one.
Yeah, I get that wrong every time. I still don't know.
Okay. Okay. Oh man. Can you say them again?
FMK, Brandon Gluck and Coop. Brandon Gluck and Coop. FMK.
There's no timeline attached to that. Just in general.
Oh, look, tonight, right now, 9:59 p.m. EST on 12/21/2023 EST.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to kill Coop. Like
it's fair.
As of today, he's gone. Then I'm gonna F Mr. Campbell Fitness and marry Adrian Gluck to Jim, aka G Jim. On mine for you, I had Campbell Fitness, GGR prior to 2019, and G Jim, which was the original Gluck to Jim. Whenever his server would share it as Jim or whatever. You type in G Jim and it went to Jim. So he had to change it to Gluck's Jim. But so all of them had a previous name, and so I'm gonna marry Gluck.
G Jim does just sound like a typo.
Yeah. Auto corrected to Jim, so he had to change it. I told him, I said, man, it came out cool because I think his logo with the 2 G's kind of reminds me of the Mandalorian armor, head armor, to harken back to a previous episode. But yeah, I'm killing Coop because I think ever since he became corporate, that it's not the same. So that's immediate kill there. Brandon Campbell, I love all the stuff he does. If you could marry 2, I would probably marry him. But since somebody has to be effed and married, he's going to be that one. And then Gluck, I think he has the broadest. He does a little bit of everything. He's got powerlifting stuff. He's got some technology, but he doesn't get too far into the technology where I'm not interested. He will have like a treadmill or something from time to time. But it's mostly bars and stuff that I'm really interested in, pieces of equipment, home gym stuff, not commercial equipment. And then Brandon, you just want to F with that, man, because he's got one of the nicest gyms or nicest basements besides Keith. Probably in the US, you know what I mean?
He might edge me out a little bit, but I'm not sure if he's getting me completed.
That's a little home cooking.
Good stuff.
So what's your answer there? I had the same one written down. It says Keith.
Do I need to answer it in your manner or answer it the way I posed it? Because I don't know if I think it'd still be the same because I can't look as cool.
I don't. The names was just for fun, but
either way,
it's the same as I did. That'd be fair. Same as I did.
Yeah, or killing Coop for the exact same reasons. I don't appreciate sellout fuckers. And just he's completely changed his content. Like Coop 2018 was fucking great. Like he contributed to me growing my gym and just being like, oh, I can have 20 barbells and like really be into this niche thing and like invest a lot of time and money in my home gym. Hell yeah, that's awesome. But then like he does not produce any of his own content of any value anymore. It's all like just, for the man basically. Between Brandon and Gluck, I love Gluck, but Brandon is definitely a little more hyper focused on barbells and powerlifting specific, which is that's me to a T. Like I am a powerlifter. Gluck just did his first meet. I don't know that he loved it. Whereas Brandon's done like 20 meets. So I guess I'll marry Brandon and fuck Gluck and kill Coop. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's a side note on that. What I will say is I like Brandon. I don't have anything against Brandon really. It's but me and Brandon are both supporting members of Gluck. And maybe Keith is too.
The No Wine the No Wine Cellar is also a Gluck supporting member of Patreon.
So like I said, I put my money where my mouth is. I'm not scared to support things that I enjoy. So I answered it basically the same way, but I see why you go Brandon Campbell because he's more powerlifting specific. And he's got a national masters total, so you can't argue with that.
No, the real question is, has Joey heard of all three of these people?
Hey, I was actually going to chime in and say, here's a fun story. I know who those people are.
Attaboy.
Two
of them are
they've all been on the sister podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
And two of them are supporting members.
That's true.
Well, So let's say I know the two supporting members, and I've heard of the one that isn't.
That's good stuff.
Yeah,
fair.
Never once watched any of their content. No, I think I've watched some of Brandon's when I was looking at purchasing some things. I definitely watched Brandon's things.
I was going to say you may have watched Brandon's adjacently because he made that video on that bar that you.
Yes,
the Bells of Steel.
He's actually I watched his video before buying mine, and he gave it a glowing review. To be honest with you,
I had that bar. I liked it. It's a good bar.
I think Gluck might kill me for not marrying him though, because him and his wife fucking drove like 8 hours to come to my gym and tour it for a YouTube content.
You're supposed to marry the one that took you on the most dates there, Keith.
But solely for the fact
who brung you, man.
Yeah, he definitely. I'm sticking to my answer. I just
how hard it was for me to not say what I said in a Southern accent, just so you know. Because the first time I heard it was at a. All right.
Diet Coke went up my nose.
That's the spirit.
I had to burn a little
when he said that, I was like, "Oh man."
Well, I got a bunch more home gym content stuff, but I'm gonna probably I think we're gonna move on. Get into some overrated, underrated. That's not our game. Unpaid and underrated. Unless there's anything jumping out of Joey that he must ask.
Nah, it'll get all sappy. I'm not gonna start talking about being a girl dad. I'm gonna.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to say. I will say that somebody said here. For the longest time, you had written on the mirrors in the garage, Ellison and Emery's weddings.
Oh yeah.
As a reminder, and that would harken back to what we talked about with Nate about doing what we do now for later and for them. So.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Just want to say, yeah, man,
being
with you on that
for
one.
Your kid's wedding, I like.
Well, whenever Joe, I think that's Joey. I've heard him say it multiple times that he's trying to get off the toilet when he's 80. You know what I mean? That's why we squat and deadlift. Like even if you have a little knee issue here or something, like that's the long game, man. So my old house we had mirrors in the gym or in the garage, we don't have that here, but that doesn't mean I can't put it somewhere else. But yeah, you're right. I wrote that on there because I had at the time I think they were 3 and 5, and I got to be around, and that's back when I was a lot heavier too. So I was like, man, I got to be around whenever it's their time to their time to shine. I want to be able to go to all their ball games and all that stuff. So thank you for saying that, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's it's definitely suddenly all the things that you were doing, you're not doing them for you anymore, and
yeah, it's all connected. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. I also want to point out that you once fell asleep in a drive-through, and
man, they're hammering me with the fast food talk.
I want to get away from the sappy part and immediately go into falling asleep at a drive-through. I'm assuming alcohol was not involved. You were just a tired boy.
No, yeah, not alcohol. I mean, in college, I drank more in college than I do now for sure, but it was not alcohol related. Me and my buddy Dustin were equipment managers for the MTSU or Middle Tennessee football team. So that's probably the most I've worked in my entire life, honestly. Like all the other jobs I did, kind of. That's why I say you get some kind of service job or whatever, because it'll make you harder in life. But there you had to go to class during the day, which everybody does. But then if you had football practice, but we weren't on the team, but we were the guys behind the scenes. So we got there right after class. We got there before the guys did. We're the guys closing everything down in the evening. So sometimes they might have practice until 4 or 5. We're not getting out there until 8:30 or 9 sometimes. If you have laundry or you have to do the laundry and all kinds of stuff, put the stuff away. So like out here where we lived, Zaxby wasn't even a big chain then. It was like the only one for I'd ever seen. Now there's like 5 in the same town, but at that time there was just one. And so we had to drive across town to get it, but it was like the best chicken that we'd had at that time. And yeah, man, we were sitting in the line because they're not really fast at service over there. They say they make it to order, so we actually fell asleep in the drive-through. Had to get honked at and 3 or 4 spots back before you get your food. We're just like asleep in the car, man. So that definitely happened.
That's funny.
That was the best chicken I ever ate. Once I woke up, though, I'll tell you
that. Midnight snack at that point, right?
Yeah, right. Basically.
All right, and before we get into unpaid and underrated, I have 3 questions from the crew.
Hit it.
The first one is unnamed. How many mag pins do you own?
Oh man, you guys got time?
Follow up. What's a mag pin?
Can we just say a lot?
Did you tell Joey what a mag pin is?
I'm gonna have to just.
What's a mag pin do?
So it's a pin that you would instead of having to use it's how you attach attachments to a power rack.
This is a mag pin,
but it's a magnetic one, so it doesn't have the detent pin on the end. That's like a pain in the ass to push through.
I see.
So it's got this one is bells of steel. Yeah, it's like a hitch pin or it's like a bougie hitch pin. Basically, is what you're.
All right.
But with a cotter pin on the other side.
So there's a bells of steel one, and there's a surplus strength one.
I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, I have all different brands. I've got O Club, several.
I'm gonna say he has over 10 for sure.
Yeah, probably 20.
Okay, so I'll take the over 10 as a win.
Yeah. It started out as a video review thing, and then people are like, "Oh, what about this one? What about this one? What about this one?" And I'm like, "Well, there's only one way to find out. You got to get all of them and see."
Yep.
$300 in mag pins.
So some guys sent me some, and some people didn't, and some guys are here locally, and they gave me some. So about half of them were purchased, half of them were sent to me. But I was planning a roundup video, but I'm still waiting for a few more to come in. But several mag pins to answer your question shortly. Yeah. And I got a bunch of old ones. If anybody needs the regular ones, there's a trash bucket over here of old mag pins.
This guy's just swimming in mag pins. So, from Jen, top 3 gym hacks for home gym owners. If you were to narrow it down to 3 elevator pitches, and these are the 3 things you should do.
One of the things I think I say it to a lot of people is if you're going to train with barbells, get at least 2. Like 2 power bars or whatever kind of training you're into. If you're doing powerlifting, that could be a deadlift bar and a regular bar too, if you wanted. But I think it saves time. Like I like to like in the rack, I like to set up my squat and then be warming up the next lift. So if you have 2 power bars, because SBD or whatever, powerlifting type training, almost everything is barbells. It could be specialty bars too, depending on what you got going on. But that would be one hack is to get at least 2 barbells. That way you're not tied to changing the weights and you're gonna have more. You're gonna need more plates for that too. Or you're gonna have to move the plates back and forth. But if you have a good amount of plates and 2 barbells, you can be warming up one lift while you're doing in the work sets of the other lift. That's a big time saver for me, especially when I get home later in the evenings and stuff. I don't have a lot of time to train, so sometimes it's hitting the big stuff. That would be one. Let's see. What else would I say? Number 2 would be buy strength co plates. Make sure you have those. I
mean, yeah, I got some.
Any iron plates will work. No, I was just kidding. But
they make the best sound. So I've got some neoprene plates. I've got some knockoff iron plates, and I've got strength go plates. And that clunk that you only get from those like flat iron plates that are like flush, you don't get it from anything else. That's a good clunk. That's just me.
Yeah. Probably another one to save time, save space really more than time is getting a bench that's able to stand up. So when you're not using it, you can prop it in the corner, set it over there. Like if you're limited on space, like I'm in a 1-car bay. I have a lot of stuff in one area, but my wife parks on the other side. So I used to have 2 benches. I thought I needed a flat bench for bench stuff like that. But if you have a good adjustable bench that has a longer back pad, you can use that back pad as the flat bench if it's the right height. Like you got to get one that's IPF specs or whatever if you're doing powerlifting stuff. But that's what I do. I've got the Rep 5200 2.0, but the back pad is I don't know, it's almost 5 feet long or 4.5 feet long. So it's just the same size as a regular bench pad. So I only use that back portion. And then when I'm not using it, I can just wheel it in the corner, wheel it over there. You still got room for the lawnmower, stuff like that. I would say mag pins are a hack. You don't need them, but I just think they're cool. And you can do stuff like putting your logo on there. You can see that. Like you can do all kinds of fun stuff like that. And I would say, really just making your gym your own. Like whatever style you're into, whether it's if you're like a Massonomics banners, just make it your own. Like whatever type of training you're into, whatever type of equipment you like, try to get one that you're going to train with. And if you like the equipment, you're going to use it more often. So that's really a hack too. Just sometimes it might cost a little more, but it's worth it if you like it and you enjoy it. And then if you don't have access to that, try to go try it somewhere that somebody else has it, or meet up with a buddy, or go to a gym that has it and test it before you buy it. That's I hate you to spend money and then you're like, I don't like this bar. Like, maybe you get to go try it somewhere. Something coming up like Home Gym Con. I know Keith knows about that, but that would be a hack too. Try before you buy whenever you can. So you're not having to sell it down the road, That's probably, off the top of my head, that's probably the hacks.
The very in-depth off the top of your head, buddy. So go follow his YouTube and hear a lot more about all that.
Yeah, it's on like Keith. You keep asking me, I could keep on going probably.
Yeah. I was just trying to, I knew we could go all night talking about gym stuff. Let's see. So Big Tanner wants to know, are goldfish actually baby carp? I think it's just more. I think it's just more a pun on your name being Carp. I don't know if there's more to that. Maybe my delivery was bad. I don't know, but
the only thing I can think is he's seen my my Ted Lasso banner, the Believe I had made by actual Plate Snacks. Link in the description.
Nice. Code unpaid.
Yeah, use code unpaid. But that's one thing that Plate Snacks can do. Like he can make you any. You got something you want, a Marvel banner or whatever. That guy can handle it. Reach out to him. But I do have a Believe banner. You might be able to see right there. It's but Mark from Plate Snacks made that off of the Ted Lasso movie.
Fantastic.
It's kind of his old version of that, where it actually looks like it's a banner, but it looks like it's taped on the wall. So I had him do it. And he shadowed it. Like if you want to go see it, go check out Instagram, or whatever. But it's on there.
Pretty cool.
He shadowed it where it looks like it's actually something that's been stuck to the wall. Like so, it's cool. That might be what he's talking about. And the goldfish reference, that's the only thing I can think. And then on my belt, that Beltfish Drink made me, I had him put little carp fish on there.
Okay.
Like the carp is not. I mean, that's my last name. Like, but it's kind of a double meaning there because the fish and everything. But growing up, we had a pool, and they used to call me like the manatee or whatever because I could swim really far underwater. I could swim back and forth at that time. I haven't done it in a while, but I could swim back and forth underwater, without having to come up for air. So they used to call me the Big Carp or the manatee. So that's kind of where that joke came from. But I don't know where Tanner is getting it from. I'm guessing it's Ted Lasso.
I know I have to dispute, man. I don't think you were ever called Manatee because it's not on my list as nicknames. So I don't know if we can give you that one.
Well, yeah, it was there, man.
Okay. I guess since
you have to get back with the Wendy's chops. Whoever told you Wendy's chops, who would know about it?
All right. What's one piece of home gym equipment you regret selling?
And there's probably not a whole lot. Like
that's good. Then that's good.
Normally, what I like to do is I've sold a lot. I've sold a ton. I mean, you can just look on Facebook Marketplace to see that. But the 2020 purge was like, hey man, this is my chance to get rid of all this and upgrade to nicer stuff, which is pretty much what I did. So when people see this, they're like, man, that dude is rich or whatever. No, I just flipped a lot of stuff and like use other people's money to buy my stuff. Like,
absolutely.
You know what I mean? I mean, I have a decent job, but I'm like, I can't just go spend, thousands of dollars on a gym. Like, I took a Titan rack and sold it for double the price, and then bought a different brand rack. So that's pretty much how that happened. But I mean, I lost my train of thought on that.
That's all good, man. If nothing instantly came to mind, like that's a tough question because like I think I used to have bars I was nostalgic about that I let go of, but it's more a nostalgia thing. Like I wish I kept on like this certain bar that like I have a stainless steel version of it now, but I only had a black oxide, but it was like the first bar I owned. So maybe it'd be cool to still have that one kind of thing. But if you don't have that, it's
yeah. Well, that sparks what I would say is a bar that I did sell that it was the same bar that Joey has. It was my first real power bar. That one, like in Tennessee, it's going to rust and it's not going to like you would have to do a lot of maintenance, and then even with barbell rescue and all that, you're still going to be putting a lot of time and stuff in it. But I would like to have kept it just because it was my first bar, and I mean it's gone now, so like that's one maybe. And then I will say I feel like a lot of the Kabuki stuff I have owned, and it's no longer here. And I feel like some of it is just overrated. Like I've got other stuff since then that is just as comparable. They're not in price, obviously, like probably much cheaper stuff. But as far as like training in the gym, I don't notice a big difference. So that's what there are. So that may be another hack. Maybe he said earlier, like some of the stuff, there are some good brands out there that are budget that make good stuff. That might be another hack for somebody else out there. But that's really the only bar, that one bar. Like I really like that bar. I wish I would have kept it just to say it was my first.
Yeah.
Because before that, I had the cheapo bars everybody gets. Like you find wherever, but that's probably it.
The stripped out hex bolt.
I love that bar. But I mean, again, it was my first real bar, right? So of course I love it. And it does actually require quite a bit of maintenance. Bare steel, I'm always putting oil on that thing, like once every 2 or 3 months. But I'm in a basement, so.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I've got bars in here that are stainless steel, and they've already started to patina and stuff like that. So if they say, hey, man, this bar will never rust, that's not true because everything rusts around here.
Hey, you want to do me a favor there, Big Carp? Can you want to do a little barbell rescue ad read for Big Joey to tell him all the things that he'll be able to do with it in a couple weeks whenever it shows up?
Well, if you're a power lifter, you definitely be able to use it for getting the chalk off your bar. A nice scrub down in oil. Like I just love the. Does he not have one yet? Is he getting one?
It's on its way.
It's coming.
Yeah. Okay. You'll see. It's really good. I've had some cheapo bars, or just you can buy like a hardware store brush, but you're gonna like this a lot more because it actually goes around the bar. And then if you do oil, if you have that bar, you need to oil it. You don't have to worry about the oil dripping all over the floor and all that because it will be contained inside of the barbell rescue brush because it catches all that. So you'll be able to oil down the shaft and all that, and it'll clean it up for you pretty good, man. A little effort, and it goes a long way.
I've been eyeing them ever since I first heard of them. I've been eyeing the barbell rescue, but I couldn't make it make sense because I had like a steel wire brush and I had everything. But then once we got the code, I was like, quit being a loser. Buy your own product.
What color did you get? Did you get a color?
Black and red.
Okay. All right.
I really hope Kim can like get enough people that like orange to justify doing a whole nother mold in orange or whatever, because that'd be kind of sick. And I would definitely buy the inserts at orange. But for now, I just got the old standby for the OGs. But code unpaid at Barbell Rescue save you 10%. Appreciate everyone that's been ordering so far, and that is your ad read for that this week. And I think we're gonna move into unpaid or underrated. We good with that, everybody? Are you familiar? Do you want to explain the rules to me? Because I usually butcher them. So, Big Eric, how the hell do you pay unpaid or underrated?
There's druthers.
Brother, yep. I'm familiar.
And yeah, you just can't ride the line, man. You have to
Right.
go one way or the other.
And for anyone that's a newer listener, because I think our numbers are picking up a little bit. Big Nate shared us where we were at. It kind of looks like it's picking up at the beginning, so I don't know if people are just listening to the first couple or if people are getting into the new episodes. But if this is your first episode, the legitimate it's our take on unpaid or underrated. It's our take on overrated or underrated, with unpaid being overrated. Well, it's because it's so instilled with me now, and so ingrained that unpaid is the word overrated.
You fight so hard to memorize it. It's hard to not, right?
But then you forget that there's people that don't know what we're talking about, and I do want them to understand the game. So I guarantee there's at least one person that this is their first listen, whether it be someone that's close with Eric or a random crew that's just like, oh, well they keep talking about it on the Massonomics podcast. Let me give it a shot, and like they just listen to the most recent download, and that's this one. So. Unpaid or underrated? Eric, I'm gonna go with. Let's go with.
Feel free to take any of the ones I've added.
Yeah,
I know it seems like I have not been participating, but I want to say it is genuinely because I think you two will give better content than I could just interject with my dumbassery. You did edit some of them though. I think you edited some, which is fine. I've added like 4 and edited 1.
No, we're good. We're good. It threw me off, but I'm picking it up. Okay, so Eric, let's go. I want to know your unpaid or underrated opinion on sharing food.
Oh, Joey doesn't share food. That's funny because that's a Friends reference, and I don't like Friends. Like, my wife is a big Friends person, and
R.I.P.
But Big Carp doesn't share food, so like you try to take fries off my plate, you're getting that hand smack. You know what I mean? Like, or like when your wife take a drink out of your soda, and you're like, man, what the? Like, you just give them that look, like, But so that's the kind of inside joke with my wife, like. That happened early on in our relationship, and she's like, "Oh, Joey doesn't share food," and tells her friends, like, they're all friends. They all like to show friends. And
okay,
that's not one of mine. But yeah, I don't actually. There is another deeper part of that. During the old high school days when you had a lot of that fast food talk from earlier, kind of harking back to earlier in the episode, there was McDonald's came out with the 20-piece chicken McNugget back in that time, and I had a bonus room above the garage, is where kind of like I had a lazy boy chair some up there. I was up there eating after a football practice one day. I had the 20-piece chicken McNugget, and my sister was like, "Hey, can you?" I was like, "Hey, I'm going to McDonald's. You need anything?" She's like, "No, I don't want anything." I was like, "Okay, fine." Like, I would have got her something, obviously. But she sees me doing something like on a video game or something. I think a PlayStation at the time. She comes up, crawls underneath the stairwell, grabs some nuggets. I see her do it, so I get up to chase her out of the room, and she just jumped from the top stair all the way down.
Oh shit!
Hits the ground, bounces into the wall, makes her body print in the wall.
Ooh.
And she tells Mom I pushed her.
I hope she listens to this episode and there's a dispute at Christmas. That'll be so great. Like, I didn't do that, you son of a bitch.
No, like, there's no way I pushed her, man. I wasn't even but if I would have grabbed her, man, who knows what would happen. But she definitely would have not eaten my chicken nuggets. But she just, like, she knew if I caught her that she was in trouble. So she just went, woo.
So it goes
about 15 steps.
So this predates, your wife or anything. This goes back to like adolescence, then, probably even like you just.
Yeah, I was probably like 17 or 16 or 17, like playing high school football. And yeah, man, I was like, I'll get you a combo. Just let me know, but don't eat fries off my plate, man.
Yeah, that's the stereotype.
I'll order you whatever you want. Get 2 if you want it, but don't eat off of my plate.
Yeah, I famously order a second hash brown, even when she says she doesn't want anything, because I'm like, sure you don't. here's your hash brown. Yeah, like
there's your home gym hack right there.
Like,
yeah, always order a second
order
hash
two
brown.
hash browns.
You didn't get me a donut? I'm like,
Yeah.
you fucking didn't want one.
Said you didn't want one.
Where's my coffee?
All right, but like I'm kind of the same way. I think we've already talked about. I don't like body fluids. So when people touch my food with their mouth, I don't want to touch it because now your gross saliva's on it. But like I've had to get over it. As like the primary driver in the household, my wife has to hand me all my food if we're eating at a drive-thru on the go, and she takes the mom tax. So, oh, this wrap looks good, bite, and I'm just like I can't get mad anymore because I want the wrap. Like there's no second wrap for me to have, but it's the mom tax, I call it. I had to just get over it, but I'm with you. It used to drive me fucking insane, to be honest.
All right.
So,
yep. Oh, you got another one?
I was just gonna say, yeah, it's overrated.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know what the fuck overrated means, so
it's unpaid.
No, sorry, unpaid. Yeah,
there you
unpaid.
Go. Yep. Speaking of completions, come again. Yep. Let's see. Let's see. Unpaid or underrated. I'm gonna go with personalized license plates, known as I guess we call them vanity plates. Right? Yeah. So vanity plates, unpaid or underrated.
Vanity plates. Yeah, like back in the day, I did have a Carp license plate with my.
I heard that
with my football number on there. So
69. Carp 69.
No, 76. Coach Carp 76. But right. No, 69 is the amount of chicken bakes I order when I go to Costco. Like, I'm gonna say, well, I said recently my wife got me one that says Carp's Gym for the front of my car too, so I could kind of go either way on that. So,
well, that's not a vanity plate though. That's just a personalized like. Well, so in Tennessee, do you have to have front and back license plates?
No, we have just on the back.
So yeah. I'm gonna say that's just like that's decorations. I'm talking about.
Okay.
So like, because like a vanity plate, you have to go to the DMV and pay like $100 a year to have or something, don't you? Like there's a.
Oh yeah, it's like especially if it's.
So
if it's vanity and it's customized, it's like if it's you pick the spelling here, it's like instead of $70, it's like $200 or something like that.
Fuck that!
Because you're paying the vanity plate plus the personalized vanity plate. So gotcha. Yeah, when you get older, you're like, oh man, that's definitely not as important as I thought it was. Like,
I will remember another code for less money.
So yeah, that's unpaid, man. Unpaid, I guess. Okay. Even though I liked it at the time, it's still unpaid.
So when's the last time you think you had it on your car?
Oh, that would have been like college. Yeah.
Okay. So
like mid 2000s.
Okay, so like it was a 5-year thing you did when you were in your early 20s. I got you.
Yeah, until I started, having to pay all my own stuff. Like, when you're playing football and you have a little side job at the movie theater, it only covers so much. So your parents kind of supplement. Like I've always worked like since I was 15 in some type of capacity, but all that, $5 an hour job doesn't pay all those bills. So like, the parents usually help you. But back then also gas was only $10 for a whole tank. So $5 went farther than it does now. Right. But yeah, it's unpaid.
Well, I'm going to wrap my portion up with. Ooh, I feel bad stealing this because I think he edited it for himself, but I think it's going to be funny.
No, please do. So it's going to be funny.
I'm going to go with specifically McDonald's ketchup, unpaid or underrated. McDonald's ketchup.
Is there something more than unpaid? Can it be like triple unpaid?
Mick unpaid.
Do we call that Brian?
Yeah. Dude, unpaid. Because in the modern era, it's unpaid all the way. Like, there was a time when I think they actually had Heinz ketchup, which is the number one ketchup, by the way. There's no other ketchups. That even harkens back to a sister podcast early episode where
Tyler,
Big Tyler Effenstone is a ketchup guy, I think too. Yes, and Heinz is the only ketchup. McDonald's came out with their, I think it was the late 90s. They came out with their fancy ketchup, which is something that they produce and sell. So if you ever look at the packets, it will say McDonald's fancy ketchup. But at one time, it had the flip thing on the back where it was a Heinz bottle, and like you see like all the other chains. But yeah, dude, I cannot stand McDonald's ketchup. I quit eating McDonald's because they switched the ketchups. Like all that the McNugget story and all that from back in the day. That was back in the day. Or I had my own ketchup available. Like
you would take your own ketchup to McDonald's.
Not to McDonald's, but
You would get McDonald's
take
the
it home
drive-through
and
and I got you.
then take it home and use my house ketchup or
I
whatever.
see.
Yeah, definitely.
So unpaid, okay. So that I had 3 unpaids. Damn, I think I hit all your I don't like these. So let's see let's see if Joey can find anything you might like.
Well, I think one of
if
them's.
not, that's fine.
I think one of them's gonna. I'm taking a gamble on it, but I want to go first and foremost. Unpaid or underrated, flavored cola. One of my favorite drinks is vanilla Coke. So, what do you think about the flavored diet colas and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Like
Yeah.
I don't want anything in my tea or anything. I don't like lemon tea or lime, Coke, none of that stuff. Like nowadays, everyone has not everyone, but a lot of the chains and stuff have the mix fountain. Like you can
Yeah.
choose whatever you want,
Yeah, I've seen those.
and those fountains do not taste the same. It's not they're
No.
like I don't know if it's because it all comes out of the same spout and like you're getting lime mixed in everybody's drink or whatever, but they just do not taste right. So I don't like anything added to my. I mean, they make different variations of Diet Coke and stuff, the different lime and different ones,
Mhm.
cherry and all that. I don't like anything. I don't like any fruit in my in my drinks, whether it's tea, Coke, anything. So I'm going to say unpaid for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I vanilla Coke was here in Canada for a brief time, and then you could only get it from places that imported it. So I used to buy vanilla Coke all the time because it was just my favorite drink.
Yeah.
I even brought it up just because my wife, we found a sugar-free, like off-brand one that I kind of like, but I took it out of my thing today because it has 45 milligrams of caffeine, and I don't drink caffeine after a certain amount, after a certain time of day. So that's fun. All right. So that one, definitely. This is the one that I think is gonna fall flat, but I'm gonna try it anyway because it'll make somebody happy. Unpaid or underrated, Magikarp's Splash Attack.
I know what that is.
All right, yeah, that was a Pokemon joke I thought would go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Magikarp
No,
is
yeah.
he's a Pokemon, and the joke is that
Yeah,
his
I'm not
Splash
a
Attack.
Pokemon guy. I'm into movies and all that, but Pokemon's not one of my things I got into.
Somebody's gonna go. That was funny, Joey. Thank you for asking that. so
I'll take your word for it.
so I'll move it on to the last one. Unpaid or underrated, barbell safety clamps.
I mean, I think they're what would that be?
Be underrated or unpaid?
Yeah, I think they're underrated. I've uh back in high school, man, like bench was always one of my better lifts, and but my I guess over time it worked out. Or there's some high school jokes in there too, where one arm is way stronger than the other. So I would be locked out like this, man, and I'd be like, don't you effing touch this bar because I'm going to get it. Like I've got the strength to get this, and it would be literally like a seesaw type deal. Like I could get this arm locked out, and if it was like a really heavy weight, like the moderate's not, but like if we're maxing out or something. So I always had to clamp my bars because if not, I mean that thing will go. Even if you start doing that, the plates start sliding off the bar. So
Yeah.
normally on bench, I would say no collars, but like on something like that where you go for a max attempt and you probably have spotters. So it'd be like one of these deals, then you would just lock it out eventually. But if they ever touch the bar, man, like you're gonna have a bad day if you touch that bar. But over time it's evened itself out, and different training styles. Back then it was all touch and go. So nowadays I try to do actually powerlifting bench press. But yeah, I'd say they're underrated because they can save your life if you do them right. But always have your spotters set. If you don't have if you're lifting alone, make sure
Yeah.
you've got some type of safety precautions other than
Always.
those.
Always. What are your preferred style of collar?
I like the Massonomics are the best ones I've got, man.
Yeah, me
They're
too.
made by the Strength Co.
The
So
strength ones, yeah.
if you guys didn't jump on that or you wanted to lift hard, live easy, like I actually got mine through the website, but they have the same collars from Strength Co. And they can last a lifetime. There's a one piece on there that you can adjust, so if it wears out, they can just be replaced. So really, they could last you forever, and not plus the red. I got the red, so they just pop.
I got the red too. Yeah. The only
But
thing I wish
I really like the Stranko collars.
now I don't know if you know, but Bells of Steel made one exactly the same, but they put magnets in them so that you could just clip them to the side of your.
I heard that was coming. I haven't seen it yet or haven't tried it, but I've heard that.
Yeah, I
That might
remember
be a
I asked the
might be a
strength
hack.
co. I was like, are these magnetized? And they were kind of like, why would we do that? And that's because I knew what Bells of Steel was releasing.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I'm buying yours anyway. Like,
Right.
I'm not gonna not get these. But it's like, I wonder if I just put a magnet on the side of these myself, just so that I have somewhere to put them. But then I never clued into me. You just leave them on the bar.
Yeah.
Like you just leave them on the bar, and then you stack all the weights, and then you move them, and you slide all the weights side. Like when Tanner did that with the video,
Yeah.
that never occurred to me because one of my biggest problems is where do I put these while I'm loading the bar? But just leave it on the bar. It's way easier. All right, I think you passed unpaid and underrated. Although we had to gloss over the Magic Carp one.
I wish I could have helped you out there, man. That's out of
Hey,
my purview.
I was like, it's got carp in it. Maybe it'll go somewhere, but no, it's fine.
I always get like carpe diem or that some kind of play on that. Get all kinds of weird stuff like that all the time.
So, but that's
Never
that's the first Pokemon.
first Pokemon, yeah.
We did it, crew.
Hey. Before we hand the reins over to you, I do have one question. What's up with the red? Where's the red theme come from? What inspires that for you?
I've just always liked red personally. Like I just like the color, and with red and black. Like growing up in sports, all our stuff was blue. Like, and I just thought it looked cool, honestly. Like, and they usually go together. And then coming into the Massonomics world, a lot of the stuff is red and black. A lot of black tees, and so whenever a red tee came out, I was like, man, I gotta definitely have a red tee. Um, but I just think they look good together. Like like you can do like one panel, you can get like the uprights in one color, and then you match your stuff. So it's a lot easier to mix and match attachments if you have a one color, because almost everybody makes something in black. So you can get like Sears is orange, so you can get orange, and then all your other stuff can be black, and it seems like go together. I just like the red and black look.
That's good enough an answer for me, bud.
Same. My car's black and red. My gym's black and red. Well, it's all black now, but it was black and red. So same, man. And
all
also
right.
NWO Wolfpack.
Right.
Sweet. Well,
WC.
Anything you want to hit us with, big guy?
Let's see. Well, I know we went over that one, and we kind of took each other's on the FMKs. Let me see here. I'll go. I'll get Joey back in the mix here. Let's do FMK for Joey. Powerlifting, strongman, or wrestling. FMK. I don't think y'all have done that one before. I tried to get stuff that I knew y'all had done.
That's good.
No, that's good.
I don't know what he's gonna kill. He's gonna, but I know. I know what he's gonna.
You have your druthers on FMK as well.
So, like, I want to marry wrestling because it's just been a part of my life for so long, so long. But like, I can just not. I don't think I've actually watched wrestling since Bray Wyatt died. I don't think I've actually tuned into anything since his match, and then he disappeared, and I was like, well, then I never need to watch this again. But like, I still like kind of maintain contact. You know what I mean? Like, I read up and I watch some of the YouTube highlights and things like that. I've never done a strongman anything, but I intend to. Like, at some point, I'm going to. And powerlifting is what I do, but I definitely would say it's not the only thing I ever want to do. So I would say then we're gonna marry wrestling. It's just been there. Like I said, we said it earlier. Dance with the one that brung you. So marry wrestling. Probably fuck powerlifting and kill strongman. Today. Ask me again next year and see if that's different.
Fair enough. Yeah, I knew that would be hard for you because I knew you were at least a fan of a strongman and wrestling, and the powerlifting you probably are too because you're doing it. But I didn't know what was going to happen with the strongman and the wrestling. So
I love powerlifting because it's fun, it's easy, and it's what I've been doing. But if somebody said tomorrow, you're never allowed to do that again, go train strongman, I would I don't think I would like mourn powerlifting. I'm not like some of the people where I'm not listening to Two White Lights and talking about all the powerlifting drama and all the federations. Fuck.
Oob.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. One thing me and Outlaw Country we both agree with: fuck the feds. Right? I have no patience for that kind of stuff. So like, yeah, that was a good call.
Now, Joey, are you familiar with the movie coming out tomorrow with Zac Efron, The Iron Claw?
Yes, I
Is that
am.
a is
Yes,
that
I
something
am. That's about the
is
Von
that on
Erichs.
yeah, is that on your immediate watch list whenever it's
It is
available?
on. Yeah, actually, it is. I don't know if it'll still be in theaters by the time I'm free to go see a movie.
Yeah.
But the reviews have looked okay. Um, if you don't know about the Von Erichs, it's a very tragic story. Like there's only
I
like
know that.
one that's left alive. Yeah, that and it's been pretty sad. And they were supposed to be like there's like families in wrestling because there always has been. There's the Harts from Calgary, right? Bret Hart, Owen Hart, Stu Hart, Jim Neidhart, all those. There's the Mysterios. Um, there's one other one I'm just forgetting for some stupid reason. But there's always a family business. And the Von Erichs should have been.
The Road.
Yeah, the Rhodes. The Von Erichs should have been I don't want to say mafia, but like the powerful family. And they just died. They all just died. Like in horrible ways. So it looks
Spoiler
to be a good movie. Yeah, spoiler alert.
I didn't know that, so I would have actually probably it might hurt less when I watch it and like the fucking main character starts to die off. I'm like, ah, fuck. Okay, well now I know that's
One
coming
of them, I think,
potentially.
died up in Canada, like just went off a bridge.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's sad. Sorry, we hijacked your questions there, Eric. So
No, it's all good stuff, man. I said druthers, so I want to go FMK for Keith.
whatever you
I'll
got.
do. This one could have been for either one of you, I guess, but I'm going to go with Keith on this one because he took my other one earlier.
Sorry,
Let's
buddy.
go FMK, Jim Carrey, Adam Sandler, and Will Ferrell.
Oh, we're killing Will Ferrell because he's fucking horrible and isn't funny and has never produced anything that is worth my time at all whatsoever. So Will Ferrell is dead before I even remember who you said the other two were. So Jim Carrey or Sandler? Ooh, fucker, man. So this is where it's getting because like fuck is like it's like a quick hitter basically, where someone that like because you could in the moment like want to fuck someone more than you want to be married to someone, but like the whole fucking thing, it's like I guess I personally would rank it as like marry is like the number one, fucking is the number two, and then killing's the number three in that scenario. So Sandler or Carrey, lifetime achievement. Ooh. Jim Carrey or Adam Sandler, fuck or marry. Ooh, man, I think I gotta fuck Jim Carrey and marry Sandler. Because like Jim Carrey probably peaked higher for me, but Sandler I think's done more. I can't even say that because Jim Carrey's done so much. Fuck, that's tough. But I do
It's a good
like,
one.
and they're
It is
both
a good
like,
one.
and neither of them are like my favorite because a lot of it is like it resorts to like the stupid comedy, which is like I can only take so much of before I'm like, all right, that's funny, but it's like not when it's repetitive, it's not as funny. Which I don't know. Fuck, this is tough. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna marry Sandler and fuck Carrie. Yeah. I used to get told I looked like Adam Sandler when I was younger, but I don't know if I still. I think that's when I had longer hair and actually like grew it out a little bit, and it was like super curly. So maybe that was it. But yeah, I don't think I look like him anymore.
One thing you can say is they're all heavy hitters for sure. And then
Oh,
recently,
there's two of
Sandler
them.
won that Mark Twain Award for comedy. So I don't know if you ever saw that, but
I do remember that whole. Yeah, he it was. It almost turned into like a roast, didn't it, from like all his buddies?
yeah, pretty much. That's
Yeah,
funny.
that was good. He's got a fucking good for him for having a trophy wife too.
Is there of those three? Is there follow up questions? Of those three, is there a skit or a scene in a movie that is your favorite from any of one of the three, and that you can call up? That's something you just thought was hilarious, or it could be on the
Top man.
TV days, Saturday Night Live, or it could
So
be movies.
I was not a Saturday Night Live guy. I'm sure I'm completely gonna miss something.
And then Jim Carrey was on the other show on Fox.
Oh, was it Firefighting Dan or Firefighting what the fuck?
Fire Marshal Bill.
Fire Marshal Bill. It was on Living Color. It was called Living
Let me
Color.
show you something.
He was on it was back when like I remember watching that when we first got like better cable and we were actually able to get FX in like the mid 90s, early 90s probably.
He did that Vanilla Ice remix.
Yeah.
So white baby or something like that.
Yeah.
With his hair and everything.
Yeah.
Nothing's jumping out at me. So
that's fair enough.
I'll think about it and I'll throw something on Instagram on the podcast page in a couple days when I actually think of something. But I can't think of anything right now, honestly.
You guys want to do FMK or transition to go into something else?
Whatever you got, man. This is your you got 10, 15 minutes. Do whatever you want.
Okay, we'll do a couple more. Actually, here's what I will do. This it's kind of something different. It's a little game, sort of. I like to call Mount Rushmore. So you pick your top 4 in this category. It kind of harkens to the sister podcast being in South Dakota. And Big Keith, give me your Mount Rushmore comedy movies.
Oh God, man, killing me. I don't know.
I've never laughed at
your personal top 4. It doesn't have to be what the world thinks is the top 4. What you think are your top 4.
Outside Providence, Out Cold. It's kind of a comedy. It's more actiony, but like Mystic River, the Russell Crowe like hockey movie. There's some really there's some really funny shit in that. Oh fuck, what would the 4th one be? I don't think it's something new that I don't remember the last like new movie. Dirty. So not the one with Johnny Knoxville. Like Dirty Grandpa with Robert De Niro and Zac Efron. I can't remember if that was Dirty or I think it was Dirty Grandpa, right?
No,
I know what you're talking about. I'm not sure if that there was
2 movies that came out in the same couple years.
Yeah.
One was a Jackass movie basically, and then one was the
one is Johnny Knoxville dressed up as a
so not
character.
that one, not that one. The one with Robert De Niro where he played.
I can't remember what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
I remember laughing my ass off at that. I was just like, I'd have to like look up the Orange Glaze scale and actually like go to comedy and then like pick like the top because I'm not I really am not a like comedy's not my like I like movies but I don't know
I gotta say I'm very proud of you for naming 4 movies I've never fucking seen or heard of in my life. Like that's hard to do.
Some of those
you just did Out Cold is kind of a cult classic.
It has so many times.
It has the same main character as Mallrats. Like the guy, I can't remember the guy's name, but the guy that was
Earl. Wait, no,
not Earl. The other guy, the Earl's buddy, Jason Lee's friend that was going on the dating show or whatever.
Yeah,
he's the main character in Out Cold.
Fuck, is that actually him?
Out Cold's really fun. Well, the guy in Out Cold is one of 2 brothers. It's like 2 like twins that were popular.
I'm pretty sure that's him.
I'm not. It might be his brother, but like there was not the O'Donnell twins, but like
I can't think of what his name is.
Twins.
I can see his face, but I can't think of his name.
Was it Jeremy London?
Yeah, that's him.
The fuck is he?
When Jaws pops out of the water.
Ooh, honorable mention, which actually probably would have knocked any of those off the table. Dazed and Confused.
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
Which also had one of the Landons in. I think it was his brother though.
All right.
The London, whatever the fuck, like the 2 twin brothers.
No, Landon was Michael Landon. He's from Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah, London is a fucking place in where Big David's from.
I can't believe I just like remembered Michael Landon from Little House on the Prairie.
When I said it too, I knew someone was gonna fucking roast me for that.
Right, no, I'm not roasting you. I'm just very proud of myself.
I watched a lot of Little House on the Prairie as a kid. It was one of the few shows that
it
was on syndication like all summer long. And it was just like
we all did.
It usually be like back-to-back hours of it too. So watched a So
all right, well, we want to transition to Joey there. Same question for Joey. What's your Mount Rushmore on horror movies?
Okay. So obviously Paranormal Activity, I've made my passion about that movie very, very serious, is going to be up there. Rosemary's Baby is going to be up there. Hard to you could argue that one's not a horror movie, Um, unless you're really paying attention. That movie is very, very anxiety driven. The Babadook, I think, would be up there as well, just because of its approach to mental health and guilt, where if you're really watching the movie, you'll clue into that kind of stuff. It's a lot deeper than a simple, there's a scary ghost guy. And last, probably Insidious.
Yeah, that was pretty. I remember that one.
Yeah, Insidious is incredible right up until about the last 10 minutes. Yeah, which one were you, Insidious is the one with the tiptoe through the windows, right? With that one.
Yeah, and I remember that one scene in the car, man. That was rough.
Yeah. Yeah. There's another one too, called Sinister. And Sinister is pretty much a series of snuff films, and it's very uncomfortable. Not in the way that like some of the other movies I've talked about, like
Human Centipede uncomfortable.
well, no, I would think Bone Tomahawk uncomfortable. That one was like scarring. I don't want to watch that ever again. But Sinister was very kind of like, because they never really show it, but like they show people watching it, like that one. And Annabelle. I think you could put Annabelle up there, right? As a fifth, like if I had to remove one and add one.
Right.
Because I really liked the Conjuring, but it wasn't as good, I think, as the first Annabelle Origins was. And then the Conjuring stuff just all went insane. And they just like expanded a universe. But I think that's those four, and maybe with the addition of Annabelle as like the gift shop.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I knew that was kind of your genre, so I figured he had some good insight on that. And like I said, it's not what everybody thinks; it's what Joey thinks.
Yeah,
right, because they're your ratings, not our ratings. So suck his dick.
Yeah, you could honestly ask me every week because I try and watch one every week, and sometimes I end up watching shitty horror movies because what I'll do, and this is probably stupid to be honest with you, is I pay for them.
Ew.
Yeah, so
many
that
streaming things you can get them bootleg.
I know, but I'm committed.
I guess
whether I want to, like, I finish it whether I want to or not. Right? So I might see a preview and I'd be like, okay, yeah, that one. And I'm halfway through and I'm like, this movie fucking sucks, but I paid $4 to watch it, so I'm watching it.
I loaded the bar, I gotta squat it, you know?
Yeah, that's exactly it. And so they can't all be zingers. And I've watched a couple that I watched one that was supposed to be like, this is the most uncomfortable, scary movie. It was fucking garbage. And then you just randomly watch one, then you're like, so some scuba divers find a house under a lake, and there's a cult family still somehow alive, drowned in there. And you're like, that's not going to be good. And it was fucking great. Like, it will shock you how you're like, I really want to finish this movie to see how it ends. So I do enjoy my horror movies. Thank you for asking.
Fair enough. Okay, I got a couple questions, and we'll see. Like, it can go to either one of you. I think I'm going to do this. Yeah, this is for both of you. So I'll start with Keith.
Yeah, buddy.
What's the best lift you've seen in person that has affected you in some kind of way? Like any lift that you've seen and someone else do, and how it made you feel for whatever reason. Like, is there anything that stands out that was shocking to you? Or
well, I watched Dan Bell and Thor at the Arnold last year. Like I was like 2 feet away from both of them when they did their expo at the Rogue booth, and they worked up to like, I don't know, 800 or something. So it wasn't anything huge, but like to watch Thor basically tap out, and then like essentially like I heard through like one of the other guys that was handling Dan or helping him out, like, yeah, Thor didn't want to go up, and he asked Dan not to go up either, even though Dan could have fucking kept going up. And so seeing that was kind of cool. I was like a huge powerlifting fan. Essentially, see like a powerlifter beat a strong man at a power, So as far as like, did that inspire me or anything? Not really. Like, I don't know. Like in person, there was a local dude that he has pulled 800 a couple times in competition. I think the one time I saw him, it was actually really cool. It was when I was fairly new to powerlifting, and they were doing a deadlift only meet, but they were doing it on like a pier at like a beach. So we were literally like on like I mean it was like a beach at like one of the local lakes like on Lake Ontario, uh at like just like one of the city fucking beach parks or whatever. But like watching a
Yeah.
deadlift meet and watching a dude at like 220 fucking rip up like 750 or something for the first time. Like that was the biggest lift I had ever seen in person at that time, which was pretty cool. Yeah, I would say those. I mean, I've seen a bunch of like smaller dudes lift bigger weights and stuff, but do I remember anything specifically? Like I don't know. I'm sure I saw some gym lifts of like buddies hitting huge numbers and stuff, but I would probably go with, well, yeah, seeing Dan in person, like with Thor, and being like getting there like early because I knew it was because it was kind of like it was like a day or two notice, and I think you only really saw it unless you were following their social medias. So like knowing to be at the booth like a half hour early and just fucking stand there with nothing going on to then like have a fucking perfect seat or I mean standing room only, obviously. And then like that killed like an hour at the Arnold, just like fucking enthralled of like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's I've listened to him on like 10 different podcasts, and like he's just fucking I can't remember if he was, I think he was drinking beer on all honesty, or at least he drank beer immediately afterwards. So that was
Dan?
probably yeah.
Well, I can't confirm
Yeah, no
because I
shit.
was drinking with Dan all
Oh yeah.
Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Like me, that's like meeting Big Jonathan at some type of competition, man. He's starting them before he's even we see he's going, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. At that same Arnold, so I did watch Mitchell Hooper win the strongman. I was there. I watched
That's
him
cool.
carry that log up the ramp, crack a beer, and celebrate his win. So if I have to answer that same question, it's probably that. At that same event, though, I did see Tamara Walcott, um, strapless. That's the thing. She set the record for the women's elephant deadlift bar or
Oh
elephant
yeah, I've never
bar
seen that.
deadlift. Yep. And then the person after her matched her lift. But remember, Tamara did not wear straps because Tamara's a powerlifter who just happened to go and demolish the strongman. So that was strong woman. That was awesome. I also happened to see Shane Hunt rep 800 or 750, I think,
I think I
at
missed that.
the
Yeah,
at the Strength Co booth during the deadlift party.
that was
So,
impressive.
Yeah, I've seen that clip. Haven't seen it live. I saw that clip.
oh, you will probably see me or hear me in that clip because I was right front row center, pretty much just making sure that like I was kind of helping but not helping. Like I was just kind of in the way, but like if somebody needed something, I didn't like I would turn and grab it or something or like help load the plates. So yeah, that was I was definitely there to watch that. And that was the first time I'd ever seen him. I found out he was the guy that kept bailing on Massonomics pretty much that day. But watching him do that for fun. He was just like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And that was pretty insane.
He's not a massive guy like Dan or anything, is he? I mean, he's pretty
No, he's like I think
lean
he's like
guy.
242 or
Yeah, and he's
275 at the
lean.
most. But
Yeah. But he
Yeah.
gets strong, dude. Okay.
that was before he
Yeah.
went super crazy on social media.
Well, yeah, and you know, I know you left that day, Keith, but I think you would have loved that because that
Yeah,
was
I
I was
actually
front
watched.
row center. I was watching, I think Taj Fitbod Taj, she is on Instagram, was there. Um, Jonathan Oldham, Julius Maddox, TD Smash, Shane Hunt, Dan Bell. Like I just sat there and just partied with these dudes while they just
That's sick.
deadlifted.
Yeah,
And it was probably the coolest part of anything I've ever done.
I'm jealous that I had to leave that morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
From
drove.
everything I hear, sorry.
No, you're good.
I was gonna say from everything I hear, I wasn't there, but it kind of became the animal cage that year because there was no
Yeah.
animal cage the last couple of years.
It pretty much
So that
was.
was kind of the only thing that wasn't already in a competition. So
Yeah, but then the coolest part is Grant then as soon as that was over, it was just opened up to anybody. What do you want to lift? Put anything on the bar, right? So yeah, it was really cool.
nice. Okay, see if I got anything else for you guys. That's kind of adjacent to that. How many crew do you think you've met in person for both of you?
Oof.
I don't know the answer. I'm just wondering what you think because I know Keith has done a lot of stuff recently that's probably bumped up that
Define me
number.
like because like I kind of covered that the other day. Like I don't consider that I met everyone that was at the Lift Hard Live Easy because like I do I have to shake their hand and talk to them
I met some
if
people twice.
yeah have I met you? Yeah,
Keith did too. One with
I would
one eye open and two eyes open.
I
Well,
mean,
I
I
mean,
gotta
no,
be like,
at the Lift Hard Live Easy, like I fully walked up to people and was just like, "Oh, hey, oh yeah, we met last night."
yeah.
Okay, like I had to do that like twice, and there's still people that like. There's one person that was, I think, at the breakfast who I still don't remember their name.
I gotta be at like, fuck, I'm 50 plus. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, because I mean that's I mean, plus you factor in because I met like Kevin was at the Arnold. I met a few guys at the Arnold that didn't make it to Live Hard, so I got a couple more there. A couple guys like Chad was here lifting a couple weeks ago. But I mean, okay, so how many do we say at the lift? There was 60 at the lift hard. At least 40 of those were crew. So
hmm
yeah, I've met over 50. Probably under 70, more than 50.
same.
Like that
How
I've like
many?
that
How
I've
many would
that
you
I've
say a year
shaken
ago?
hands with. Oh, a year ago, 12 months ago would have
Zero.
been
Zero for sure.
fuck. I'm gonna go with one, probably just one.
Okay, yeah.
Me and no, two, because it would have been Eddie, Big Eddie, and Matt Cessny. Uh
That you
anybody?
just know offhand.
Well, yeah, because I knew I met Matt at a meet the year before, like, and we both realized we were in the supporting members, and then we were both doing a meet in Buffalo, and we were like, oh, I'll see you there, and like we hung out all day and shit, and that was pre Arnold, so that would have been like 2021, I guess, I don't know, and then I met Eddie fucking like two couple at least a year before or the Arnold that I went to last year. I don't think it was any more as far as a year ago. And then yeah, I would say
Mine's a lot easier. It's only two. It was
212.
Kurt Locker when he came here, and then Big Jonathan when he was in Nashville doing that surplus strength booth.
Mm.
They did a kind of similar competition or like deadlift off or whatever type of deal.
You
And
get
yeah,
to
he
do.
repped. I think he repped 700 for like five or something, like something
Yeah,
crazy.
I did see that.
In
That was
cowboy boots and a in a
The
speedo
speedo.
that was pretty
and a
impressive.
cowboy hat.
Yeah, I can't
That was
even.
something impressive.
I think I might be at
I
four. Yeah, actually, pre a year ago. Sorry.
I can't even because there's people I met that like, oh yeah, your crew. Oh yeah, hey, like the Arnold, a whirlwind. The Arnold was even more of a whirlwind than the Lift Hard Live Easy because at least the Lift Hard Live Easy people knew who I was, and at the Arnold at the time, nobody knew who I was. So I would just be getting introduced to people just left, right, and center. Tanner and Tommy, oh hey, and like how many times have you met Justin, Big Action Jesus? And he's
I
a
was.
lovable dude. Love that guy. And he was just like, "Oh, do you know that guy? Do you know that guy? Do you that?" And I just was like in autopilot, shaking hands. Also smashed by the like by
He-
4 o'clock on Saturday. No, just on Miller, just hammed because it's just I was just having fun, and people just there kept being beers in my hand, and so yeah, I would say it's easily 50 plus, probably closer to 70 as well. Actually, I have this here, which is signed by several crew.
About this many people.
There's at least some of them on there, including I think Big Karen and Huck Finn are on here too.
Oh, nice.
Actually, I think Shane Hunt's on here as well.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. I think yeah. I'd say I'm about that. Probably just a hair more. Maybe with I don't know if with the lift hard because you might have met a few more people at the Arnold, but I feel like most people that you met Nate. I haven't met Nate, but other than that, I'm trying to think who else you would have met at the Arnold that I didn't meet the day before that morning.
I don't know.
And then we would have met everyone that we say that the lift hard is a wash.
Fuck,
And I,
I barely remember meeting you.
and then
Like
I
that is
met
how many people I met at the Arnold that way.
and then I met another four or five people at uh Crew Falls, and then I've got a couple guys out here that are technically crew that I've met that probably will never. I don't know if they'll ever go out. But yeah, no, that is cool to think about like collectively at least 50 people that you've shaken hands with and met in person solely because of this podcast because of the sister podcast. That's pretty nifty. I
I know your number got up a lot in the past year. That's why I wanted to know what would have been a year ago. How much has changed? It's been pretty crazy.
Yeah. If you ask me another year from now too, I think we're going to break 100 because there's going to be at least 40 because I have to meet like 40 new people this year. I don't know, it's probably going to be doable.
We should just get a booth.
There's a lot of new faces.
Just get it.
Yeah.
Just
You
get a
already got the
booth at the
shirts.
Lift Hard. Yeah, get a booth at the Lift Hard, Live Easy. In between warm ups and sets, like one of us is just always there.
I do want to do a lot more
Code unpaid.
I do want to try to do a lot more content this year though, even if it's just the React videos, but like without my fucking 30-second monologue introducing myself every clip.
Everybody's Big Keith. Yeah, we know, dude. We know. Here's a selfie of up my nose.
It was such a good weekend. I had such a good time. No, I look forward to meeting more dudes and chicks and crew and cookies and all that.
Meat
Chocolate
sticks.
chips, that it is. Yeah, meat sticks. Yeah, give me all the. What I'm not looking forward to is meeting more meme accounts. How many? I'm so confused on who anyone is now with all these meme accounts, and we
They're not.
we got like
They're
three
not
new
very
ones this
good at
week.
hiding it. It's
Oh
all.
yeah,
It's all getting kind of obvious, but that's okay. People are having fun.
yeah, no, it's just funny. Like, oh, and there's like I came across a couple because I've been going through my Instagram list and kind of like not unfollowing people I know necessarily, just unfollowing like people that I've been following that like, all right, why am I following this person nowadays? Like I want to get my follower count down of people that I'm just like wasting. I want my feed to be more of my friends and less people I don't care about. So I think I've come across a couple old meme accounts that like aren't even active anymore. There's like a couple different Massonomics accounts that are like legit meme accounts that haven't had anything since like 2021, and I was like, huh, wonder whose that is. Like who just stopped playing with their meme account?
Okay, I got one. I think it might be a good one for both of you.
What you got?
This is kind of harkens back to the Big Dave episode. He said he doesn't slap the bass in the band Rule 17, but he said that came off of the movie Zombieland, kind of a play on that.
Mm-hmm.
So in that movie, Woody Harrelson is going around looking across the world for Twinkies.
Yep.
In that, if that happened today, and you guys, what would you search the world for? What type of food or snack cake or whatever would you be looking for if it was you? Is there anything, any type of food or beverage that you would be searching in an apocalypse type situation?
Jagger.
That was maybe too easy for Joey.
Yeah, it was way too easy. No, because at that point, like that's a detriment. So probably all just chips. I can see myself like going a certain amount of time without them and then being like, oh fuck that. Like we've got to go and find some of those right now.
In the vein
Good
of it
answer.
being, I'll go with in the vein of it being like a pastry or like something like not satiating, like not like not protein based to keep me alive in an apocalypse. Just something that's like a sweet tooth kind of thing. Swiss rolls. Swiss rolls are my jam. Like that's if I had to like have like one like little Debbie snack food to rule them all, like Swiss roll is just like, one C hair above the rest in my book.
Would that be one of your unlimited calorie items if you picked one? Like mine would probably be ketchup, but would yours be the Swiss roll?
No, I don't. I'd probably not. I'm gonna stick with the cheesecake and
Ranch.
ranch, but the whole like you're not gonna fucking want ranch or an apocalypse because it wouldn't have been fucking kept in the
It won't be
fridge and
fresh. Yeah.
yeah, no, and then like I'm not gonna want a rotten cheesecake, so you got to go with something like in that because that's why the whole Twinkie thing is like Twinkie also literally survive apocalypse to harken back to like what is it a fucking that's kind of contradicted by John McClane when he bites into the one in Die Hard and he like bitches about it being all like 10 years old or something, but like that's the thing, like aren't Twinkies supposed to taste the same through an apocalypse or something?
All right, that's fair enough. I've got a few more questions, but it's up to you guys. So do you want to keep it rolling, or do you want to shut it down?
One more, and we'll call it our night.
Okay, this one
If they're separate, do one more each. But
well, yeah.
Oh, Daddy's getting tired.
This one could be for Joey. Has he seen it? The movie Howard the Duck.
Yep. Do I remember anything from it? Nope.
Okay.
I think 1987, isn't it?
It's Marvel lore, so I didn't know.
Yeah, no, it is
rumors
Marvel
that's
lore.
coming out as a movie, but
in fact, he's in the Last Guardians of the Galaxy as well. He's in
at the
two of
very
them.
end.
Yeah, he was in two of them there. So, and I think he appears in the last Spider-Man movie too. Oddly enough, he's made two appearances in something, but definitely saw that as a kid when I should not have.
Right. A lot of guys remember might have been their first shot at a naked duck.
Yep. Yeah, naked duck dick. Yep, definitely have seen that.
That might be the episode title then.
Naked Duck Dick.
Yeah, that might edge out the other one that might edge out whatever we talked about earlier. Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, Keith, you want just a straight question or a FMK?
Whatever you got, but whatever you think's gonna be funnier.
Okay. Well, that's just a straight question. Where did the name the No Wine Cellar come
My
from? Your Orange
buddy,
Gym.
yeah, my buddy helped me come up with it. I think I knew I wanted to name my gym because I at the time when I had first because I want to say like I had the physical gym for like at least a year before I coined the name, before the name was coined. And at that time I was training at another buddy's garage gym, called the Pain Clinic, which was a really witty kind of just play on words, and it was just cool. So I was like, man, I need to come up with something like that and try to be original and all that. And my one of my coworkers came over to work out one day, and I think he I at the time I was like I seldom drank. I wasn't the drinker out of like the group of people I worked with. They were all fucking like raging alcoholics basically, or functioning alcoholics, and here I am like I'll drink 2 or 3 beers like at most. So he already knew I wasn't a big drinker. He knew it was like it was a basement, so I don't know. Somehow he basically came up. I don't remember if he had the whole name, the No Wine Cellar, or if he just gave me the idea. I really can't remember because it was legit like 7 years ago or something. But it was essentially to the fact around that I'm not a drinker, and don't fucking complain when you're trying to work out. So it's just the No Wine Cellar, and I wish I had a better story, but I don't know. I think it's a great fucking name. It just needs a little better story, I guess.
Yeah, complaining
Yeah, I'll
while you.
say like I knew of his gym way before Massonomics because I've seen him like on Facebook groups and stuff like that. Didn't know Keith at all, but I do remember his gym and the name. I found it interesting. So uh, even before Massonomics, I knew Grant Brogy and Keith Honeycutt, I guess.
That's
Yeah,
dope.
it's in good company.
Yeah, no, complaining in the gym is like top 10 stress relief. Like I said it the other day. I think I was right before my meet, I hit the rack on my walkouts twice. Like for like just top sets. No, I don't mean I hit it twice. Like I hit it on the one set and put it back, and then on the next set I hit the top, and I was just like, "That's it. I'm never lifting again. I'm so fucking mad at this walkout. Like, do I not know what I'm doing? Am I so stupid? Like, it just went on for like an hour. Uh, so no, complaining in the gym is very important. I don't drink in the gym though. Weirdly enough.
That kind of it makes me chuckle even more with the odd couple memes that came out today, and like it really is like you and I are the fucking odd. I don't like that show predates me. Was it a movie or was it a show? Like that predates me so much. I don't even fucking know what it's about. Other than I'm assuming it's just two dudes that see eye to eye on everything, and it's just like that is us to a T, and I find that amusing that like we get to the same place, but we don't take the same path to get there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Isn't it basically the precursor to Grumpy Old Men?
Now,
Just
Grumpy
like
Old
It
Men, I
is.
get. Okay, so that makes more sense.
But, no, but
Yes.
that's the same two
kind of the
guys.
same.
Oh, it
Yeah,
is.
it's kind of the
It
Okay.
same
was Walter
thing.
Matthau and
Because
Jack
that
Lemmon, I
When they're
think.
like
I
20 and
really
then when they're like 80. Yeah.
I might actually have to go fucking see if I can dig some of that up then, because I actually really liked Grumpy Old Men and Grumpier Old Men. Like
Yeah.
they were just two old fucking horn dogs. Like that
Yeah,
just
there's your old grandpa movie or whatever. Like,
yeah.
he's into the grandpa comedy.
Yeah. No, it's definitely like it's a mindset thing. Actually, at the meet, I was just like I put in I think my squat or something, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fail that. And then she was like, why do you talk to yourself like that? And in my head, I was like, I can see externally why you think that's a negative thing, but like me saying that out loud is actually me going, no, I'm gonna fucking lift that. Right. Like when I hit the walkout and I'm like, I never want to lift this again. That's the initial reaction. But then the overcoming reaction is, I'm gonna fucking lift that. Like I'm not gonna give up just because my brain told me this sucks. So it is, yeah, you're right. It's a different journey for me sometimes. So I reserve the right to be mad at it,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna overcome it.
I guess for me the whole aspect of the No Wine Cellar, it's just like I don't know. Don't give up. Like because I fucking me, I complain about everything, but it's more of a like don't complain about shit you can't fix, I guess. Like complain about the shit I don't know. Like I complain about the shit I can fix and I fix it. Like I'll
Yeah.
complain about like, oh, this asshole put the fucking plates on the goddamn plate tree backwards. Like I'm not even talking about that. It's just more like I don't know, like don't complain to the point that you stop lifting. Don't complain to
Yeah,
the point that you're making excuses of why you can't lift. So here's another. So that's why I own specialty bars. Like, oh, my back hurts. Okay, I own a SSB now, and I can fucking box squat. I have a hex bar. I have a fucking.
yeah,
I have a neutral grip bench bar. I can fucking still squat, bench, and deadlift some variation. So like that's to me that's where the no whine is. Like even if you do want to whine, still fucking put the work in, kind of thing. So like
absolutely. It's one of the things
that's my concept.
my boss learned about me very quickly is he'll come to me and he'll be like, here's a change we're going to make. And I'll go, that's so stupid. It's going to make everything hard. I hate it. I hate that you did this without consulting anybody who it affects. Thank you for letting me get that out. I'll do it. And that's just like, that's how I need to control or how I need to approach things. Right. Like
Yeah.
if it's a problem, fix it. And if it's not a problem, or if you can't fix it, then it was never your problem. That's, anyway.
Well, I feel like we've
serious at the end of this.
hijacked. Is there anything you want the listeners to know about you, Eric? Anything you didn't get across? We're about to probably bring this in for a landing. I just wanted to. I feel like we got a lot of good content early, and then Joey and I kind of hit our stride with some certain things we wanted to vent about. And anything you want to hit us with? Anything we didn't cover?
No, I just thanks for having me on, guys. I thought there'd be some other guys that would make it on here before me, but thanks for having me on. Yeah, I covered all of the stuff I thought would be funny, or at least make you guys think. So I don't really have anything else. If you guys are ready to go, unless there's anything you want to ask me, but
I hope that you get out of this what I kind of hope everyone gets out of this is just get more followers, get more friends and crew, more opportunity to maybe someone you didn't realize lives in Tennessee, and you fucking go grab a beer with them or something. Like that's, I mean, I talk about it all the time. Like I want this podcast to be for everyone. Fucking get to know each other. Stop fucking hiding in the shadows. Like become, more friendly with each other. That came out weird.
Most importantly,
get it.
Find a reason to show up at the Arnold or the Lift Hard, Live Easy.
That. Or Crew Falls or Home Gym Con or anywhere that at least one other.
No, just do the ones I'm going to. Forget the rest of them.
Right.
I'm not going to the fucking Arnold. If Joey stays in Canada, I might go to the Arnold. But if he's gonna go, I don't know. I gotta stay home.
We don't need both of us.
I financially can't recover from 2023, so I don't think I can do the Arnold this year.
Well, kind of like Keith was saying, I'm not opposed to having guys come over and train. I've met a few guys here and there locally, like whether they're buying equipment or they just come over to try something out. I'm not opposed to getting a couple days a week having a crew or having a couple of guys that are in the same type of training. So if that happens, guys, feel free to reach out. I've told Grant when he's in town, Kurt Lockers actually came here, but Grant, like, hey, if you're passing through and you don't have anywhere to go, you can come lift here. We got Strength Co plates, we got Massonomics banners, so come on through.
Those are the go-to plates.
Yeah. Didn't you and I have a bet on who got the most views or something? Was that just a push-up bet or something? I think between
that was one of our early on.
I think it was like 2 years ago now.
The Gluck video versus Kurt Locker.
Yeah.
And then I don't think yours came out. Yours came out later. Ours came out earlier. But I guess Gluck did that other one before yours. But
yeah, R.I.P. to that guy.
But yeah, you murdered me. In the video, Gluck says, "Hopefully this has tens of thousands of views." And Keith goes, "Yeah, hopefully." And he's got tens of thousands of views. So.
That's all right. No, the other guy you just mentioned, he passed away within the last 6 months or so.
Sorry to hear that.
But he actually has I guess one thing I was going to talk about earlier, never got to. He's got a benefit that's it's essentially it's a strongman show to raise money for the place where he would go to New York City to stay for free while he was getting his cancer treatment in New York City. So he's like, he started this when he was still alive, and then he passed away earlier this year, I believe. And so I think his family and some other people have kept it going on. So I might actually end up throwing my name into that. I obviously have till tomorrow to sign up for it or not, or till Saturday to sign up for it or not. I'm actually going to do a strongman training session with my buddy Chris tomorrow to see if I can even touch the entry level weights for the amateurs, not the amateurs. What's for the novice class? Basically, I have to be able to I have to overhead press. I have to log an axle clean and press 165 Farmers carry 250. It's a stiff bar deadlift, which is a raising bar, so you can get in wherever you want. And then I think a stone lift starting at like 150 or something, so pretty light. But I've never done a stone. I'm assuming 150
Like
is
an
light.
Atlas stone lift?
Yeah,
Oh.
like a stone over bar. So not
Oof.
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Like a yoke or something.
Yeah, like over the so I don't know. So they're doing like half of those events tomorrow. So I'm gonna just see what I can do, and if all of it feels horrible, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna sign up. But I think I have the option to potentially just sign up for the deadlift portion of it only, just to like, I mean, even it's like $50 just to fucking donate towards the dude's charity. So I think I'm gonna do that regardless, as long as they'll just let me just do deadlift only. But if I can even come close to like at least doing one rep of everything, I'll maybe I'll do the whole thing, but we'll see. But sorry, I only mentioned that because you had mentioned the gentleman, Steve, who had passed away. So I was like, oh, let me, I guess I'll plug that real quick. But all right. So we have this game we like to play. It's called so
We're about to dive right in.
And on a sad note there, but yeah. This has been episode 30 something of the Unpaid and Underrated podcast. You can find us on Instagram at Unpaid and Underrated Podcast. We have a website that Nate probably puts way more time in than Joey or I do doing anything else just to keep it up. And that is unpaidinternpodcast.com.
Can't even
Shout
think
out
of
to technically the guy.
Yeah. Can't even think of the last time I looked at that website. And I know it's doing great.
I was scouring it today because I was actually trying to figure out where he got the I wanted to see what our current number for minutes produced was because I was going to use it for part of the segment, and then I was like I couldn't find it and I didn't want to bug Nate. So but I know somewhere I can click on it and actually see like how many minutes we put out. But yeah, that website's actually got a lot of good stuff. He actually makes profiles for everyone. So you can see like, because I was confused. I was like, oh, because Nate wasn't listed as a guest. I think he was listed as a guest once and then as a host once, and Kevin was a host once, and you and I have been hosts for almost every episode. So it's really cool. He does put a lot of effort in that. So go ahead and, at least check out the podcast website once or twice if you get a chance. Nate would appreciate any positive feedback you got for him on that. I think we have a blog. We have one current blog post, I believe. Big Carp, you want to hit him one more time where they can find you on the gram in your
yeah, just hit me at Coach Carp 76 on Instagram. That's probably the best place. YouTube, if you're into equipment reviews and stuff like that, check that out. But most of all my stuff I put out is on Instagram. So I just want to say thank you guys for doing this, man, because I listen every Tuesday. Like I told you guys, I have a lot of windshield time, so just catching up with you guys and hearing all the stuff that's going on out there. I really like it. Keep it up, guys.
We appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. You want anyone to find you this week, Joey, or are you back to your
Yeah, come on. It's actually really funny. I still get new followers.
On the war with the bar.
I still get new followers that are like crew, and I'm just like, really? Like we haven't already been following each other?
I think I honestly think that's just us. We're helping the community grow. So then people just see it and like they're recommended, and it's like, oh, that guy's got 20 the same people. I'm just gonna follow him. And maybe like there might be people following you that don't even know what the fuck unpaid and underrated is, but they're still crew. Like
yeah.
That's a possibility.
Yeah, so I'm at Joey_Malesko. One thing I do want to say is couple 5-star reviews won't hurt. So if you're on Spotify or Apple Music and you want to throw something our way, I'm in Canada, so I can only see the Canadian reviews. But you happen to be listening and you haven't done that yet, even if you're going to roast us a bit, do it on 5 stars.
Yeah, we would definitely appreciate that.
We're on the road to 10.
So I am Big Keith. You can find me on Instagram at KeithHoneycutt73 or my Orange Gym, the No Wine Cellar. And until next time. Oh, wait. We forgot to mention that Big Matt, still don't really know what happened last week. He never really got back to us. He, couldn't figure out the audio. We texted him and called him multiple times this week to try to get him, rescheduled for some of the openings we have in 2024.
He helped us make that video. So like we know he's engaged. But yeah, we'll get him on.
Yeah, so in the future. But until then, we'll go ahead and see you next Tuesday.